for a wrestling podcast that's filled with fun.
This is definitely Davey Boy Smith's finest fucking moment.
He goes, he fell on his ass. He fell on his ass.
Couple of haters.
Couple haters.
That's hated.
Wrestling nostalgia.
I will take you back to May 26th, 1996. It was a stormy night. The wind was howling.
Latest pro wrestling news and rumours.
We've heard about the situations between WWE, Sasha Banks and Naomi.
And hilarious tangents.
Let's not tangent off. No Samoan spikes.
That's it.
Fucking tangents.
Then look no further. Join your hosts James, Stu and Jonny and subscribe to Top Turnbuckle Podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 13 of Top Turnbuckle Podcast with me, Stu.
Here's Jonny.
And here's James.
Hey, we're back after a Christmas and New Year's break.
We are indeed.
Yeah.
I've also had quite a bit of a break because everyone's just been ill.
Yeah. It's not been a good Christmas, really, has it?
It hasn't. It has taken us a little bit longer than usual to get back. And you could say that it's hit us harder than Shawn Michaels throwing Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window back in 1992.
Here come the puns.
Was that 92?
That was,
it was
January
92.
92, yes. But as you said, episode 13.
13,
not
Johnny.
12.
Not 12, 13.
Yes. Because I did slip up a little bit and I did think it was episode 12. So I've had to change a few things around.
Johnny, you've writ a whole page.
I've written a lot of things here.
Things to do with the number 12.
Well,
I'll let you explain. Go on, off you go.
So for some reason I thought it was episode 12. And I did write down a couple of funny little things here and there regarding the number 12. And then I was corrected that it was episode 13.
Never seen someone look so panicked just before we were about to record.
So I did change a couple of little things around. And this is the 1 year anniversary show as well.
It is,
indeed.
It's our 1 year and 1 day anniversary.
Listen, it's pretty much on the money then, to be honest.
It's not bad, is it?
Yeah.
So that's what we're on the number 13.
13, Johnny. Number 13.
And that's not 12 months, that's 13 months. And it's the 13 signs of the Zodiac. And I'm not talking Brutus, Ed Leslie, Booty Man, Beefcake either.
Fucking hell.
It's the 13 stations of the moon and the sun. This sounds a bit like the beginning of WrestleMania 6.
It does. We're getting the absolute hype right now.
We are. And also the 13, not 12, because 13 is correct. Title reigns of one Charlotte Flair.
Oh, yeah, it is.
There we
She's
go.
14-time champion, isn't she?
No, I think she won the 13th one.
If this is... Oh, look at the doubt on his face now.
I laugh so much because I think you'll find she is.
Oh, dear.
We're not editing that out. That's staying in.
Did we all have a very Merry Christmas?
Yeah, other than the illnesses, I think it's all right. I think, judging by the look on James's face, the answer's going to be no.
Well, I love Christmas, but I was ill. And it was bollocks. I'm going to probably do a buffet to make up for it. You guys are invited because I love the food. I couldn't hardly eat anything over Christmas, so it sucked.
I was just getting over my first case of strep throat, so I mean, I was able to eat, but it was still in a bit of pain. But it was all right.
It was all right. It could have been better. It could have been worse. Yeah. But we're still here to tell the story.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. All in all, it was all right. Yeah.
Did we get any good wrestling gifts?
I did. I'm wearing one.
Oh, those lucky pants.
Oh, yeah.
6-year-old Charles pants.
Fucking hell, am I wearing? Which I'm going to lead on to this in a minute.
Oh, okay.
I did get a CM Punk t-shirt and a CM Punk hoodie.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I picked them. I had to order them.
You must have ordered that ages before,
about 4 months ago.
Yeah. Well, before all that shit.
Yeah, it's a good idea at the time, you know. But
so I got a wrestling colouring book and a slightly depressed looking AJ Styles figure.
I did see that photo.
You weren't happy.
Yeah, no, he looked proper knocked
I
off.
I was going to let him out of the box, but I thought, no, you're too depressed.
He looked more like the paranoid one than the phenomenal one.
He did, yes, he did. Yes. Keep in your box, AJ. Keep in your box.
Speaking of 6-year-old pants, Johnny, I hear that you went to go and see one of our listeners recently and may have stashed something somewhere.
I did indeed, yes. Competition winner, Jim Sangwell.
Your parcel is on its way at the moment.
Yes.
Well, I have spoken to 3 Counts Wrestling podcast. 3 Counts Wrestling merchandise. They are immensely backed up, still due to the previous postal strikes, but it is on its way, I promise you.
So yeah, Jim Sangwell. I went to pay a little visit over Christmas to him. Obviously, me and him go back a little bit, and I decided to take a pair of pants.
Was it just one, or was it all
It was just one. I couldn't take all 6. Yeah, one
You
pant.
couldn't let them all fucking
No, not all at the same time, no. Whoever wins the next competition, I'm going to their house. But yeah, I took a pair of pants. It took him a little while to find them. And when he did find them, he sent me a photo and he said he was throwing them away because he hasn't got children. And it might look a little bit strange.
Yes. Yeah. Almost as strange as buying them for a mate, you know.
Oh, we look at the laughs we've had. Oh, dear. Oh, yes.
Oh, the memories. How we laugh.
How we cried.
So, are we all caught up with what we've been up to?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm really good.
Not really. Same here, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know?
I think
Christmas, New Year out of the way, back to work, isn't it?
That's it. Back to life, back to reality.
However do you want it.
However do you need it.
Oh, there we are. That's it. That's enough of that singing crap.
Right, okay.
Just have a quick announcement as to what our topic was.
Yes.
Put your teeth back in.
We'll have to remember because it was done about a fucking month ago.
Yeah, it was about 2 months ago, wasn't it?
Okay. So I went back on myself so many times with this pick for this episode. I must have changed my mind at least 4 or 5 times. But the topic I finally settled on was the top 3 matches, moments, interviews, promos, backstage interactions, storylines or personalities. Absolutely anything from the year of 1992.
Ooh.
And I chose this topic because after the last episode of All Things Nostalgic, it gave me a warm, fuzzy feeling down in my pants and my midsection.
Fucking hell, guys. The last episode was all about pants.
We brought Suburban Commando up yet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
Now, this wasn't far removed from when I first started watching these big, strong lords of the ring. I thought I'd jump straight back into my 10-year-old self and invite you along for a ride.
That sounded so bad.
It did. As we take a trip down memory lane.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, that was a nice little build up there.
Thank you very much.
You're good at these, isn't you?
Who wants to go first?
Should I? Everyone's looking at me. Should I jump into the
you're the
first
one that picked it, so you can go first.
Right. So this is anything that we enjoyed from the year of 1992. And just before we do start, I think I originally said WWF, but
did you?
It can be anything.
I fucking hope not. That's screwed 2 of mine straight away.
It can be anything. It can be.
I bet you've got one of mine.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Right.
If I do one and you say, like, I've got it.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll just chime in a bit as well.
Yeah. Okay, right. So my first pick. Okay. So the Big Boss Man, he made his WWF debut back in June 1988.
Yeah.
He came in as this evil prison guard who would often use his nightstick to beat down the good guys. Boss Man would soon become a good guy himself and start using his nightstick on the bad guys that deserved to serve hard time.
Does anyone know how it happens, how he turns face?
No.
It was something to do with Ted DiBiase, wasn't it?
It was.
And the snake?
Yes, it was.
On Brother Love?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
It was about the Boss Man being told by DiBiase to go and get the $1 million belt off for Jake. And then he realised that actually this was a crime.
Yeah. Didn't he put it in the bag as well with the snake?
He gave it back to Jake and said, this is not on. This is... I only do like justice and all that shit. It was kind of weird. Okay. It was like... It was like he was a mega heel and then suddenly he had a change of heart and went, I'm supposed to be here for, like, to protect the law and stuff. And he was like, no, this isn't right. And then he just turns.
Yeah.
It's on the Brother Love show.
It was, on an episode of Superstars, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So they started with these freaky voiceovers telling the boss man that he was out of the slammer and was threatening to come after him. And he was like, "Boss man, I'm coming after you."
That's pretty good.
You. Yeah, with a little bit of dribble coming out. Bit of teeth grinding.
Sounds like me on my second case of strep throat.
Okay, so April the 29th, the man was released from jail, Cobb County Jail, and made his way directly to the Syracuse War Memorial Arena, where one of his old prison guards was wrestling. Having just defeated Dave Roulette in just under a minute, the big boss man saw fit to smack his opponent around a little bit more after the match. So having travelled all the way from Cobb County in Georgia to Syracuse, which is actually a 14-hour and 55-minute car journey.
Fucking
Yes,
Canada.
I looked it up. NAILZ burst into the arena through the crowd. The man was wearing an orange jumpsuit with the prisoner number 902174 on the back.
So did that have
really got into depth in this,
did
hasn't
that
he?
have any meaning?
No, I couldn't find anything about it.
Also, I just want to highlight, just for Jonny, because this is 1992, and it might be a little bit unknown, that this is the debut and storyline and rivalry with NAILZ.
Yes, big NAILZ.
Yeah.
So he came in through the crowd and destroyed Bossman with his nightstick. The attack actually kept Bossman off TV for a few months. It looked legit and was very well done, I thought.
Ooh.
In my opinion, the NAILZ character gave one of the most brutal debuts of all time. Some people actually looked at the storyline as very interesting, like the concept of a convict and how they were treated in jail.
Yeah.
The WWF magazine did an awesome spread shortly after, showing photos of the aftermath of the beating and Bossman covered in bruises. I used to get scared of looking at those photos. I think I only ever looked at them once.
Yeah, I just want to say just quickly what I loved about it was I'd never seen anyone, I think apart from probably the Black Scorpion, do a voiceover. There was no video of NAILZ. It would just play over the speakers, the voice to the boss man. Like, say, like, I'm coming for you and shit and all this sort of stuff.
I've heard it. I genuinely just can't remember it.
There was like no footage of him at all, I don't think.
No, there wasn't. It was just, all it was a voice.
To be fair, it's 21 odd years ago, really. I can't remember what I did last week.
So over the next several weeks, NAILZ would tell the fans that Bossman inflicted pain and embarrassment to him while in prison, and as a result, he was looking to get payback. With Bossman injured, NAILZ would go on a rampage, taking out various talents, including Virgil and Sergeant Slaughter. And I think this was actually Sergeant Slaughter's last match, was with NAILZ.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I think he had one or two, like in 2006 or something, but...
Oh, he's had loads of matches like that.
Yeah. When Bossman returned in the autumn, he quickly set his sights on NAILZ. On the October 12th episode of Primetime Wrestling, Bossman said NAILZ was crazy and should have been serving a life sentence. He then blamed the legal system for NAILZ being released, and also his mental health was brought into question. NAILZ defended himself by simply saying that he had paid his debt to society. NAILZ's alleged crimes were never revealed, with the man himself choosing not to share the information.
Okay.
However,
now, Jonny, just
I have gone into this.
You threw more than I write on my archaeological essays, mate.
I was quite impressed with what I've written, but I just looked at
this.
He's flicked onto his second page and he's still on his first fucking pick.
So at the Survivor Series 92, Bobby Heenan revealed that he had not committed any crimes and NAILZ was innocent. Heenan stated that NAILZ had received parking tickets when he drove his mum's car to the local florist to buy her flowers for Mother's Day.
I remember that, and he was crying a little bit as well when he did it. That was at SummerSlam 92.
Yeah. SummerSlam 92.
God, look at that. I've got no notes.
Oh my God.
When returning to the vehicle, the ticket had blown away and NAILZ had no idea there was a ticket there to begin with.
I hate it when that happens.
I know. NAILZ spent 2,478 days in prison. That's more than 6.5 years and takes him into territory of Class D felony. That could mean anything from armed robbery, manslaughter, to even pissing up against a window on a night out.
Okay, Jonny.
How far have you gone with this?
I've gone into this. BOSSMAN would recover in time for Survivor Series, where he would defeat Nails in a nightstick match. Do you remember the match?
I kind of remember it, yeah.
Yeah,
it wasn't a great
it
match.
wasn't a great match.
No.
This is the nightstick on a pole at Survivor Series.
Yeah. I think it's the only match they really had, apart from matches on the house shows, but yeah. Now, you could actually look at this a different way, which I did. So BOSSMAN was beaten down on Dave Roulette after defeating him. Nails, the hero in orange, ran through the crowd to save Roulette and managed to detain the power-mad prison guard with his own handcuffs. Nails also used BOSSMAN's own stick to control him. Some people may say Nails took it too far, but let's face it, BOSSMAN deserved it for smacking around a lifeless jobber.
I don't know.
Nails was somehow portrayed as the villain by saving another man from an unfair beatdown.
Are all of yours like an essay, Jonny?
No.
Have you taken up psychology during Christmas?
Fucking hell.
What the fuck?
Also, do you believe a man who was out buying flowers for his elderly mother, or a sadistic former prison guard who once stole another man's chihuahua, cooked it and fed it to him?
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest, Jonny, mate.
That's all I've written. It's like 10 lines.
The BOSSMAN would also later tie the casket of the Big Show's father to the back of his car and drive away. During the funeral service, you decide who was wrong.
Fucking hell, Judge Judy. What else have you got?
Nails didn't do much following this. Brief feud with the Undertaker that went nowhere. Accused Vince McMahon of sexually assaulting him.
Yes.
Turned up to WCW and wrestled Sting. And again in New Japan Wrestling, Pro Wrestling, where he wrestled Elegante. You imagine John Gonzalez versus Nails.
Jesus.
There we go. Boom.
Apart from your essay, the biggest thing about Nails that I remember was that part with the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Where they met in the ring.
Yeah, it was like just on Superstars.
Right, well, they were going
I saw it.
They were going to have a feud. They were going to set up a feud.
Right.
It was even on the cover of a magazine.
Yeah. But something happens in the backstage area which no one really knows to this day.
Okay.
We got a good idea. I think Nails wanted more money. I don't know. And no one knows what happened, but it resulted in Nails choking Vince McMahon out.
Yeah. Something to do with sexually assaulting. Vince McMahon was sexually assaulting him by grabbing him or something. That's apparently the rumours that have gone around.
Is this one of the? Can we put the word allegedly?
Allegedly.
Right.
Yeah, but that story is seen as a complete fabrication to try and get Nails out of. I've forgotten Nails' real name. I think it's Kevin Kelly.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Right. So that a lot of people said that was a fabrication to get him out of the fact that he snapped because. I mean, with Vince now, you don't know, do you? Allegedly. But, like, that was the thing. He basically got in before Vince, like, saying, he sexually assaulted me to try and make a police report before the whole thing got out of hand.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't got much to say about Nails, unfortunately, Jonny.
No.
I'll be honest with you.
I thought the beatdown was just amazingly done.
Yep.
It was at that time very brutal.
Very, very strange attire for a wrestler. It's just a complete yellow suit, orange suit.
Yeah. I think with WCW it was called the Punisher. I think it was basically the same character. He didn't have the numbers on his back.
Can't understand where I've not heard that name before.
Boom, yeah. There we go.
Well, I've got to admit, I'm so looking forward to reading my 2 lines out about this one. It's incredibly short but sweet compared to Johnny's 24-page essay. All of mine are matches, I'm just going to say. And believe me, like I said earlier, I can't remember what I did last fucking week. So I had to proper Google and go into like try and find every major organisation and go through, what was that good? Was that a good match? That was cool. Fuck me, I've not seen that one. Let's have a look at that.
Yeah.
My first pick comes from an WCW main event show on the 29th of October 1992, and it is Brian Pillman and Stunning Steve Austin versus Shane Douglas and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Okay.
It's a fucking brilliant match.
I don't think I've seen that match.
I hadn't.
I probably have, but can't remember it.
I think they had a match, I don't know if they might have done one on Clash of the Champions as well. They would do matches around that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen that one.
This was, so I had to do a little bit of research to this. It turns out this was like just on the cusp of when they were about to become the Hollywood Blondes. It's fucking brilliant. It's a really entertaining match. I mean, it's not overly long. I think it's about 10 minutes, 15 minutes long.
Who was it, Shane?
Shane Douglas and Ricky Steamboat against Stunning Steve Austin and Brian Pillman. But then from like the get-go of this match, you can see the chemistry between Pillman and Austin.
4 great wrestlers for that time as well.
And Douglas and Steamboat they're brilliant together.
I always liked Douglas. Douglas used to get a lot of
I like him.
flack for being, I don't know what it was, maybe but later on in his career maybe, but
the Dean Douglas thing really, really did not suit him. And, I mean, he
derailed him a bit, to be fair.
He is really the originator of ECW. When he throws down that NWA title and goes, "You can all kiss my arse," that is the start of ECW, really, alongside maybe the Public Enemy.
Being
in the
days,
yeah.
That's when it turned to Extreme, wasn't it? Because it was Eastern Championship Wrestling before that. Yeah,
Todd Gordon went along with Paul Heyman's ideas, basically.
It's simply what I've put in. The chemistry between these 4 wrestlers was absolutely epic. And you've got 4 wrestlers who are literally just showcasing their talents. It's brilliant. It's the whole match is on YouTube. I won't give away the winners on any of my picks. I found it all on YouTube because I couldn't find that on the network.
I think as well, they and 4 were in singles matches quite a bit at that time as well.
Yeah.
So this was when they were first started teaming up. Yeah.
It was great. It really is a highly entertaining match. It's got that perfect mix of,
Was it for the titles or?
No, it's just a standard match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
And it was on WCW Pro.
WCW main event.
Because that wasn't one of their biggest shows either at the time.
No.
Yeah. That was kind of like their, I guess, Sunday Night Heat sort of version of their WCW shows. Yeah, that's good.
There you go. Short but sweet. Boom. Done.
Boom.
James.
Okay, sticking with the theme of WCW, which is quite surprising, isn't it, really? Because WCW, I mean, it was kind of struggling at the time, but there are some really, really good matches in there. And one in particular was Wrestle War 92, which was the War Games match, which was Sting's Squadron versus the Dangerous Alliance. Does anyone remember this match?
No.
This has been voted one of the best War Games matches of all time.
Oh, I believe it is. Yeah. Apart from maybe the new ones, maybe the...
No, I have watched this because I was messaging you at the time while I was watching it.
Yeah.
Yes, I have watched it. It's fucking phenomenal.
It's a great match.
Even Paul Heyman quoted it this past week on Raw.
Did he really?
Yeah, when Sami Zayn was up on the cage doing his NWO.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, "What, are you part of the Dangerous Alliance?"
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Fucking hell, we're remembered.
Yep. So, I'm trying to remember. I don't want to ruin the match, actually. I'm trying to remember who was in there and the... do you know what, guys? I'm not going to go with the order. Because if there's anyone out there who hasn't seen this match, it is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
It's got colour in it, which is very, very strange for that time. And Sting Squadron is Sting, Barry Windham, Dustin Rhodes, Ricky Steamboat, and, strangely enough, Nikita Koloff.
Also, just a quick interjection there, a very young and upcoming Dustin Rhodes, sorry.
Yeah. Yes, the Natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we've got the Dangerous Alliance. And this was really Paul E. Dangerously's big break, who we now know as Paul Heyman, who's so over. Paul Heyman was working as... He used to have a lot to do with nightclubs in New York. And... obviously went round the block in wrestling, and this was, especially for me, this was the first time I really remember Paul E. Dangerously having a big storyline. I don't know about you guys. Do you remember with the phone?
Yeah, that big phone.
Yeah.
Mobile, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he had some matches, I think he had some matches to do with Jim Cornette, some sort of feud at some point.
Yeah, they did like a tuxedo match, I think.
Yeah, so I remember Cornette talking about he got hit with that phone, it split him clean open.
Shit.
But apart from that, going a little bit back on nostalgia, this was probably my favourite WCW match, and the first time I remember Paul E. Dangerously. The Dangerous Alliance team was Stunning Steve Austin, and this was at a point when Steve Austin was not a big star. He was sort of seen as one of the other competitors, who really is the main person in the Dangerous Alliance, which is Rick Rude.
Absolutely.
He was seen as his protege.
Yeah.
That was the idea. You had Bobby Eaton, one of the best wrestlers. Anyone who you ask professionally will tell you that Bobby Eaton was amazing.
Yeah.
Larry Sabisco, who plays a very strange role in this match. And Arn Anderson, the Enforcer. It's a fantastic War Games match. You guys
so good.
will know probably now the rules of War Games. I'm not going to ruin it.
Nah.
That's it. Wrestle War 92.
I always preferred these War Games matches because they had the roof on them as well, and they looked a lot more gritty compared to the
They look grimy
ones nowadays. Yeah.
Except for, which one was it? Was it 1991 when the roof, Sid tried to powerbomb Brian Pillman?
Yes, he dropped him on
and
his head.
hit the
proper twatted him.
He hit the roof.
Yeah.
Because it was too low.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
I always liked as well the Dangerous Alliance's music. At this time as well. I try and do it. It's in my head, but it will come out completely wrong, so I'm not even going to attempt it.
The way that Paul Heyman acts in this match, you can begin to see greatness. There's things like the coin toss go on, and you see them huddle around, and you see him acting like the coach, and he's really getting into it and going, this is what we're going to do. And he's got like I think he's got a clipboard or a notepad and all of this. And it's
every so often you can see him scribbling something out, so it looks like he's changing who's going to go in next.
It's very clever and it's good.
Do they still do the coin toss now? I can't remember if they do.
If they do, it's off of TV or a match.
Say I've ever seen it.
I think it's a match to decide.
Sorry, you're right.
Interesting fact with WCW, especially in the early War Games matches, I don't believe the faces ever won the coin toss.
No, I don't.
I think that the heels always won. And if you think about it, psychologically, it wouldn't make sense for a face to win. Because you'd have a 2-on-1 situation.
Yeah, good point.
It was always the weird War Games. In 98, I think it was, where there was 3 teams in there.
Didn't like it.
It had like Warrior was the captain of one, Piper was captain of the other, and
never seen them.
Didn't like them.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. It was. I think there was one where there was American footballers involved. I think they might
possibly.
Oh God.
I think they might have been on Piper's team that time, or someone.
Oh yeah, Kevin Green.
Kevin Green and someone else. Was it Scotty Norton?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched it.
We're just guessing it could be Scott Norton.
But yeah, no, it's a great pick. I also like these the WCW pay-per-views from 92 because they're always fun to go back and watch because they're just got full of so many weird and random matches.
I've been recently going through all Starcades.
They're also
I did notice actually, I did see.
They're also full of people who made it really big in WWF around about the Attitude Era. So this is sort of a stomping ground for a lot of people who get fired by Eric Bischoff and then come up to WWF and make it quite big. So it's really cool. You got some crazy ones in there as well. Like Scotty Flamingo.
Who was Raven, wasn't he? When he's become Raven.
Yep. Marcus Alexander Bagwell.
Buff is the stuff.
Super Invader, he was he Hercules?
He must have been.
I think he was Hercules.
What Hercules Hernandez?
Yeah. Versus Todd
he was.
Yeah.
Well done.
The Steiner brothers versus
Tom Zink is always an interesting one.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought that he was going to go really, really high in the business.
Just to clarify, we're reading this off a TV screen at the moment. We're not just going random names.
So that's my pick.
Yeah, good pick.
Great. Yeah.
Right, back to Stephen Hawkins with his next thesis.
Wow. Okay. Pick number 2.
Are you all sitting comfortably? You're going to be here a while.
Sit down, big feet up.
Have you read that amount for this one, Johnny?
No, half that.
I was only 12 pages.
Yeah, it won't take long. Right. Pick 2 features the Dead Man, the Undertaker, and Jake the Snake Roberts. Okay, so it's not the actual match that's my pick. It's more of the build and the specific angle. So if I take you back 6 months prior to the summer of 91.
Yeah.
So if I take you back 6 months prior to the summer of 91.
Yeah.
Jake had just turned heel and was feuding with the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Best impression I've ever heard.
Oh yeah, dig it. Now, with Roberts being a heel, it led to his sinister character making sense to align with The Undertaker. Taker was kind of serving as like this unofficial enforcer to get more heat for Roberts.
Yeah.
Roberts tried to use Taker whenever he couldn't beat a good guy wrestler. Now, the build for this match only started about 5 weeks prior to WrestleMania 8.
Okay.
Jake was hiding behind the curtain, ready with a chair, and looking to attack an unaware Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth, until The Undertaker stopped him. The following week, Jake appeared on the funeral parlour, hosted by Paul Bearer, which aired on an episode of Superstars of Wrestling. Jake was pissed and was calling out The Undertaker. He wanted to get to the bottom of why he stopped him. He asked the question of what side The Undertaker was on, and The Undertaker took the urn from Paul Bearer and spoke into the microphone and said, "Not yours."
I remember that.
Best impression ever.
However, Jake would trap the Taker's hand in the casket, DDT Paul Bearer, kick the urn, and viciously take down The Undertaker with multiple chair shots. The Undertaker would rise up, dragging the casket with him in pursuit of Jake Roberts. The whole thing from the dark side of Roberts to the beatdown to Taker becoming a face worked really well. I do wish they extended the feud a bit longer. The promos going into WrestleMania 8 were tremendous. You could buy that Jake was a threat to Taker and vice versa. And a couple of random facts about the match. Jake wanted out of the WWF so bad that he only agreed to do the match if Vince released him.
Yep.
And also the finish was meant to be a tombstone in the ring, but Jake changed it mid-match to the tombstone on the outside so he would look better on the way out.
Right.
There we go.
Wow.
Yeah, so the story there is that, according to Jake Roberts, as I recall, he wanted a creative job.
Yeah.
That's right.
And he wanted to work with Pat Patterson, I believe.
Yeah, I think
Or
that's right.
something like
it was
that.
Something in the backstage. And
Right.
And Vince went back on it, and Jake got pissed.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was, I think.
Yeah, and that is why the feud suddenly stops, and that's why Jake disappears after the match.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of knew a little bit about that. I didn't realise that was,
Yeah.
that was the actual...
That's the backstage real life stuff that went on.
Okay.
Yeah, to cause that.
But the whole angle, I just remember that being one of the first big angles I ever saw.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was great.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back and
Paul
rewatch
Bearer,
that.
everything, yeah.
It's very short.
Yeah.
It's very short as a match. I would say that the funeral parlour stuff is better than the match.
Yeah.
You know, the whole build-up, what you said
Definitely.
there. The match feels very much like Jake's on his way out to me.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to go back and rewatch that.
I do wish they could have extended it somehow. I think there was more in the story if they had the chance to do it, but...
Very strange finish as Jonny picks up about there with the tombstone outside. It seems very strange and out of place.
Yeah. But apparently Taker was like, he wasn't sure what to do because he hadn't been wrestling for many years. When Jake changed it mid-match, he kind of like questioned what should he do. He didn't know whether to go out there and tombstone on the floor or what.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, definitely going to have to... I'm
Short and
going
sweet,
to have a look for that. Oh, mate, I'll top that. Short and sweet, I mean, not by quick. My again, like I said, all of mine are matches, and again, this is another one that I never actually seen. Going through like lists of matches from 1992. Out of curiosity, I had to watch this. I'm not that clued up on the first name I'm going to mention, and this has now led me to I need to see more. And this comes from a house show of WCW on the 19th of June 1992, and it's Barry Windham versus Stunning Steve Austin with Paulie Dangerously. Like I said, I've not watched a lot of Barry Windham. Didn't really know. I knew who he was. I knew a little bit about him, but this has now kind of led me to I want to watch more.
Yeah, so he has a strange career, Stu, and for everyone out there. So he becomes very, very big around the mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
Has a lot of matches with Ric Flair.
Yeah, that bit.
And ends up going into the Four Horsemen after that. what's sad about Barry Windham is, I believe that he went to WWF and was called the Widowmaker at one point.
Like the late 80s, I think it was.
Yeah, very late, early 90s.
Yes.
And his career kind of derails.
Yeah.
He's not seen as a big star anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he's almost like this person who everyone talks about who was amazing, and yet he's still around, but everyone talks like he's gone. I know that sounds really strange, like he's retired.
They talk about him in the past tense.
Yeah, like you still got things like the Stalker.
Yeah.
From WWF and things like that in '96 come in.
Didn't he go back to WCW? Was he part of the West Texas Rednecks?
Yeah, he
with Kurt Hennig.
But he never had that star power because he was seen as a real big star.
Yeah.
Like someone who would have hour-long Broadways with Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Was he ever champion?
I think he was.
I think so.
I think he was once. I think. He certainly wrestled Flair for the title.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was champion. Yeah.
Prior to, obviously, as we know, the submission match between Austin and Bret Hart, this is, for me, obviously going back and rewatching this match, this is kind of the earliest I've ever seen Steve Austin as a grappler.
Yes.
As a technical grappler.
Very good.
And it was brilliant. I mean, don't get me wrong. I highly regard Austin as one of the greatest names in wrestling of all time. Not just as a character, but for his in-ring work, he can't take away what the guy's done for the industry. But this match with Barry Windham just made me see Austin in a completely different light. It's really changed my outlook on him. And like I said, it's made me want to go back and, not so much rewatch a lot of stuff of Barry Windham because I didn't really know a lot about the guy. But this has really made me want to go and check out a lot of his, past work.
I like Barry Windham. I liked him.
Always
enjoyed him. He was a big guy as well.
He was fucking huge compared to Austin.
He was world champion.
And he had lovely blonde hair as well.
He did.
Lovely
blonde hair. Gorgeous locks.
Oh, wash him in a mountain stream. Oh, I don't know where that came from.
No, neither do I. Sorry.
But he was a world champion, wasn't he? I'm sure he...
Yes.
He was, yeah.
Yes.
There we go.
Barry Windham.
So, that's my pick, yeah. Again, I'm not going to give away the winner.
He's a very strange wrestler because he's someone who's seen as a megastar now, like a legend, but he only sort of has, as I say, half a career. His career, I don't know if it's an injury or people just lost faith in him. Is there colour in this match, by the way?
How do you mean?
Colour. Blood.
No, okay. Sorry, mate. No, sorry, I'll struggle what you're on about then.
Okay.
No, it's just, like I said, it's just a house show. It's just a bog standard, ding ding, let's go.
Ding ding.
Yeah, but it's an entertaining match. It really is an entertaining match. And, go and check it out, Yeah. There you go.
He was mainly like, a lot of people saw him as a mid-carder, I think as US champion, because I think he won the US title quite a few times. If I remember correctly. He's big in like the mid-80s, I believe. Yeah. It's a shame though, because I used to like his finisher as well, suplex from the top.
He used to do the lariat.
Yeah. And he had some good matches with Brian Pillman as well. I remember they had a tape fist match. Yeah. Which I've never really understood the whole point of the tape fist, because what is it going to make you hit harder?
I don't know.
But that's for another time.
It is a very strange one, Barry Windham.
Yeah.
If you guys want to look into it, Stu's looking into it now. He'll see what I mean. Suddenly,
if anyone out there in listener land can point me in the right direction, or if you two guys can point me into the right direction of some, of any good matches of his, please hit me up, let me know, and I'll gladly check them out.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay.
Happy note. Done. That's my number 2.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to WrestleMania 8. Do you have this one, Jonny?
No. No one has my next pick. No one has it.
Okay, so I'm going back to WrestleMania 8. Now, a lot of people were really upset that Ric Flair didn't have the match with Hulk Hogan.
Right.
At WrestleMania 8.
Right.
That was supposed to be the big showdown between the NWA champion and the champion from New York. In other words, this is really before WCW and WWF, because WCW is not that big at this point. So it doesn't happen, but what happens instead is a really cool match, in my opinion, and that's Randy Savage and Ric Flair.
Right, okay. I was wondering where this was going for a second.
This was actually going to be one of my original picks.
This is a great match. This is one of the first matches where the WWF title match is a proper athletic sort of match. Yeah. If you know what I mean. It's more like an Intercontinental title match for WWF, because it changes the tradition a little bit. And what I mean by that is we're used to, at this point, Hogan and the Warrior.
Yeah.
And we're used to King Kong Bundy.
I've got a reference for that as well in my number one pick. King Kong Bundy and Hogan, Andre and Hogan, Randy Savage, I suppose, against Hogan at WrestleMania 5. Yeah.
But this match is like, there's a great backstory to this. And Johnny, I'll let you take the backstory because we were talking about it the other day.
Is this the...
Elizabeth.
The Elizabeth thing, yes. Right. So, yeah, what I was going to say is, the story was about a personal grudge. You had Ric Flair claiming that Miss Elizabeth was his before she was Randy's.
Right.
Do you remember this?
No.
The WWF magazine, printed these photos of Savage and Miss Elizabeth together, away from the ring, at home and about. I think they were feeding a horse at one point. They were sitting by the pool. And... a month later,
I'll tell you what I'm laughing at.
the same photos are taken with Ric Flair.
Right.
They were all edited with Ric Flair. And I remember at the time looking at this thinking, like, what is the right one?
Yeah, it was really interesting because they got the magazine involved.
Right.
And it was strange because you would see these pictures and it would be like near enough the exact same picture with Randy and Elizabeth as Rick with Elizabeth.
It was Randy feeding the horse.
And then it was Rick feeding the horse, and like them sitting round. I remember there was one of them sitting round like
a table.
The dining room table.
And what else were they doing? Sitting by the swimming pool, feeding the horse.
It's just strange.
Crochet.
Yeah.
Crochet. Yeah. I think there was.
I think there was something like that.
Yeah, I think there was.
It was so weird. Because it had Rick like in one of those sweater type things.
That's like white. It was like white.
It was really weird.
Oh, fucking hell.
But Flair like did everything he could to get into Savage's head. Like just try with the mind games and everything.
And then thanks, Johnny. And then moving on to the match. The match. There's just an intensity to this match.
Right.
It has the same sort of vibes as Piper and Bret.
Okay, right. Yep.
Like that type of intensity.
Yeah.
Even though they're both friends, there's colour in this match.
Yeah.
They were not allowed to get colour. Both Bret and Rick got fines.
Shit.
Because they bladed.
Okay.
This match is kind of a handicap match. Mr. Perfect is actually in the ring as much as Ric Flair, near enough. If you watch this back, they work their literally, well, I was going to say no pun intended, but it is. They are Savage with Savage because they're smacking his knee. The idea is to just totally go for the knee, and they're hitting it with chairs. I think at one point they hit him with a knuckle duster. They're just going mental. And Elizabeth comes down.
Yeah.
And I think that Ric Flair tries to play it off as if they have had like some sort of past, and he tries to kiss her, and she just goes mental, starts slapping him, and this match is crazy. It's kind of like, even though it isn't, it's kind of like a no holds barred match.
Right.
Do you agree with that, Johnny?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it's very full on.
It's crazy.
Okay.
It's just a weird match, a weird sort of match, but good.
Do you remember the promo before the actual Flair interview in the back before coming to the ring with Perfect?
No.
They said like Flair cut this awesome promo about he told Savage that when it's over to look up at the big screen because Perfect was going to show the centerfold.
Yes, I do.
World.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Oh, I also found it strange as well because this was the first time really that a title match hadn't main evented WrestleMania.
I think they were so scared of the Hogan factor.
Possibly, yeah.
Because Hogan had pissed them off, hadn't he, with the steroids? He'd gone on Arsenio Hall.
Yes.
And he'd said about that he took steroids. And, yeah, it was... Vince basically wanted rid of him at that point.
Yeah.
And a last match, a retirement match, possibly Hogan's last match, was talked about.
Yeah. Even the commentary team as well, I thought were great in this match as well. With Gorilla and Bobby. Yeah,
because Bobby is fantastic whenever Flair is there because he's supposed to be the manager.
Yeah.
You got the executive consultant and the what's the other one? The financial manager and the executive consultant. That's right,
I remember Gorilla kept saying, "Will you stop?"
Yeah, he's really good. Fantastic match.
Yeah, that's a great match.
Yeah, good pick.
And arguably for me, in my opinion, 10 times better than if we'd have got Hogan and Flair in there.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, good pick, man. Good pick.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, round for the last ones.
Final pick. Right, are you ready for this?
Have you got your slippers?
Is this ridiculous?
Are we going to need a pillow and a blanket?
Right, prepare yourself. Okay.
Has anyone got the Pro Plus?
Right. Pick number 3. It's December the 6th, 1992.
Wait for it.
And the WWF and Simon Cowell are tag teaming the music charts.
Okay.
I was expecting a weather update. This is the first. Do you know what? This is the first time he's done one of these and not given us a weather update.
Well, I'm sure we'll get one later.
We've still got our best and worst moments of Raw to come.
Very true.
Yes. So, in at number 4 in this week is a new entry.
Oh, fucking
it's the WWF Superstars with Slam Jam. Now, if people don't know who Simon Cowell is, he's better known for being on the X Factor.
Oh, Jonny.
Oh, fuck,
everyone knows who Simon Cowell is.
Carol?
Simon
Cowell.
Simon Cowell.
Simon Cowell, right, back in the 80s, Simon Cowell spent most of his time...
Is that his less successful cousin?
Yes.
Oh, God, I'm choking.
He spent most of his time driving around in his Porsche.
What's going on with you two?
Retired. Did you watch the Rumble last night, Jonny?
I feel like I have. He was showing up at every London party. All this despite only having one hit to his label. So August 92, Simon Cowell found his perfect partner, the World Wrestling Federation. So the WWF in 1992, especially in the UK, was on fire, with SummerSlam being held at Wembley. A few days later, Simon read a newspaper report about the event and was stunned by the numbers. In his autobiography, he wrote, "There's not a rock band in the world that could sell out this quick. I also found out they were selling about 2.5 million videos a year. There were a lot of kids that were buying albums too." Simon got in touch with Vince McMahon. The music itself didn't have to be good. It just had to be good enough. The studio whipped up some generic beats. For the wrestling parts, they mostly just sampled promos from TV. The wrestlers involved were Bret Hart, The Undertaker, Randy Savage, the British Bulldog, and the Ultimate Warrior.
Hacksaw was involved, wasn't he?
He came in a little bit later
for
the album, yes.
Oh, you know, Stu, yeah?
Yes, I know. I have the album.
I'm quite happy to say that I don't know.
Jonny got me the album, didn't he?
It was James.
Was it you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I can't say I listen to it all, mate, but
I have.
It's
fucking atrocious.
He's good.
USA's good.
Get the fuck out. No.
The Macho Man one.
It's terrible.
Slam Jam, thank you, ma'am.
It's all fucking
And it's something about him being quite amazing and all this.
Get your heart up pumping.
That's it.
How do you know it?
He's the Macho Man.
Oh my God.
Soaring with the eagles, dancing with the weasels. Well, so Warrior was later removed for drug-related issues. So he didn't make the final cut.
Fucking hell, can you imagine Warriors one?
Yes. Now, the resulting album was called WrestleMania, as Stu would know. The first single was called Slam Jam, and it burst into the charts at number 4. WrestleMania, the album, went on to sell 1.5 million copies on its first run.
That's fucking ludicrous.
Do you know how many awards it won?
No.
I do.
No.
Fuck all. Because it's shit.
I think it deserves awards because of the fact that it's so shit and made that amount of money.
Make a musical version of the fucking Razzie Awards and it cleared up.
Oh, I'd watch it.
It's fucking heist of the century away from Seth Rollins, isn't it? Money-wise.
Jesus.
He did that though, Simon Carroll, didn't he? Because he did like Teletubbies and shit.
Yeah.
He used to go hard on
Blobby.
those sort of things. Yeah.
Bob the Builder.
Because Mr. Blobby, a year later, went to #1, Christmas #1. So imagine if this had gone to Christmas #1. Every year, Christmas time. This would be playing while you're doing your shopping around Tesco.
Would it fuck?
So the Beast was released upon the Earth.
Beast was
People pleaded with Simon Cowell not to disgrace their
Please
good
don't
name
leave.
with a novelty record about wrestling.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, but as I said, Slam Jam had almost beaten Christmas #1. So to finish my final pick, if it's okay with you guys, I'd just like to read you a few of the incredible lyrics.
Oh,
And
my
You
these
can
are
play
incredible.
it if you want.
I want to read them. I want to read them. Right, here we go.
Can we have them done in like a philosophical kind of
I'm not
tone?
going to sing it.
There's supposed to be a really serious one with Brett, and they're in the middle.
Yeah, they was going to say he was the only one.
Is that good?
He was the only one who wanted his own lyrics to sing his own song.
It's
People were saying he was going to be the new Bryan Adams.
it is fucking awful. I'm sorry, because obviously we know Bret Hart's going to be listening to this. Fucking hell, mate, what were you thinking?
Right, here we go. The World Wrestling Federation today. Slam. The Hitman. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Not after that fucking album.
Randy Savage, unbelievable, yeah. I'm the British Bulldog, and you're going down. The Undertaker says slam. Everybody to a man, slam. It's a slam jam. Everybody wants to pump with the British Bulldog.
What?
Yeah?
They want to what? Hump the British Bulldog?
Pump with the British Bulldog.
Pump with the British Bulldog? That's even worse!
Yeah? Well, the Hitman bends, but the Hitman does not break it.
Oh.
Slam jam. Thank you, ma'am. This is the Macho Man. Yeah.
Ting
The
tang.
Undertaker says slam.
Walla walla big
Here we
bang.
go. Ready? The chorus coming up. We're the cream. We roll like a team. But every great team needs a theme. Here it is. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
In it,
Now here I am, the man. So get with the slam and pick up the program. In the air, we're flying, death-defying, pumping iron, roar like a lion, pound for pound, round for round. Mama said, take you out. Pump it, pump it, pump it.
I'm sorry. It's just written by the Black Eyed Peas 20 years ago. It seems like the sort of shit will.i.am would come up with.
That's it. Yeah, there we go.
Or some sort of homosexual porno writer.
Like, what the fuck? What the fuck have we just listened to?
Pump it, pump it.
Oh, I
pump
don't know
it.
why I'm complaining. I've listened to the album. Fucking hell. Please tell me you're done.
That's it, yeah, that is it. That's the.
God.
It was on repeat. It does go on repeat again. I could do the whole thing.
No.
There's a Hacksaw Jim Duggan one that's really good.
No.
USA.
Yeah, and then he goes, I've got the American flag. And then he does a promo in the middle of it.
I've got my 2x4. The American fans. I don't know the rest of
Yeah,
that.
neither do I, but he actually speaks it. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
What other one's on the app? There's the Tatanka one. It's
None.
on there.
There's no
Crush. There's
What's the Tonka ones like?
Shit.
I got blood in my
It's
veins.
What is it?
I got blood in my veins and I'm down for fighting.
How the fuck do you remember this?
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Hey, it starts off, hey, how are ya? Hey, how are ya?
Yeah, not in the slightest bit racist, It does, yeah. It's
There's a Mr. Perfect
It's
one as well.
incredibly racist
Starts
now.
off with Mr. Perfect song and he goes, I'm perfect. And it goes, do, 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 do. I'm perfect.
So bad.
And there's a Nasty Boy stomp on there as well. That's a good one. Which I think is a rip-off of Janet Jackson, Nasty Boys, because I listened to Janet Jackson the other day and it had a Nasty Boys song on it and it sounded exactly the same.
Yeah, I reckon she's meant it.
What have I taken drugs or something? I feel like I'm not here.
I know.
But it's like an out of body experience.
Stu. You can go and reminisce.
Do you know
about
what?
this
He's
when we
actually
get
still in my car.
Is it?
Yeah.
The WrestleMania song as well, though, because it starts off, I said, are you ready for the Survivor Series? But it's the WrestleMania album.
Yeah.
Why are they saying Survivor Series?
Fuck knows.
I've always wondered that.
It's cash grab, isn't it?
I don't care.
Everybody to
It's Johnny fucking. Johnny Pitts
The WrestleMania that has the Tonka in it on the song. The Nasty Boys are on the song.
Yeah.
And it was actually used as Linda McMahon's entrance theme.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, WrestleMania.
And it was nearly, if I could get away with it, our theme.
Oh God, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
That'd be
To
amazing.
make it like nostalgic.
I'd be singing that every time.
No.
Instead of the theme that we've got now, it was going to be that.
Which is way better. Way better.
You could always, if you want to update in the future, just
No.
sample me
No.
reading Slam Jam.
No. There's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yes. Oh, but yeah, that's it.
Brilliant. I don't even know his turn it is now.
It's mine.
Is it gone?
I feel like I've lost the will to live after that. Oh, it's like PTSD. I listened to that album once. Never going to do it again.
That's not what I've heard.
No, you-
Walking
no.
past your house site every day.
Why are you walking around like...
Second time.
Isn't it?
And I repeat. She's alarm in the morning.
Shut up.
The fucking lyrics for that Slam Jam.
Why are we
unreal.
still talking about it?
Oh,
Shut
the
the
iron, roar like a lion.
up. Oh my God.
Ah, damn.
Right. My number one pick. Shut the fuck up, both of you. Talking of the steroid incident, it leads me to my number one pick. And this comes from October 12th, 1992, and it is just average WWF house show. It is Bret Hart versus Ric Flair for the WWF Heavyweight Championship.
Syracuse. Saskatoon.
Saskatoon,
Yeah.
yes.
And this was coming off the back of the steroid scandal, and Vince McMahon realising that he needs to get rid of this big beefcake, stereotypical, leader of the pack, like Hogan and people like that, and the Warrior, and realising that he's going to have to go with the natural, bigger looking guys. Up comes Bret Hart.
Yeah, I actually had this as one of my honourable mentions at the end. Yeah.
I fucking love this match.
This is a good match, yeah.
But because it also features Mr. Perfect.
It does, yeah.
Outside the ring in Ric Flair's corner. And I've stated this many, many times before in the past. I'm not a fan of Ric Flair. I really am not. But I absolutely love watching this match purely on the chemistry with Flair and Bret Hart.
Interesting thing about this match was that Ric Flair called this match in the ring.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Do you know what? I kind of had that impression anyway because I watched it again. But I watched it on YouTube.
They didn't
You
talk
can see
at all. Yeah, they didn't talk at all before the match, and Rick said, "I'll call it in the ring."
Yeah.
And Bret wasn't particularly happy about
No.
it. They didn't have any sort of plan going into it. It was all Rick.
For a wing it match, which
Yeah.
essentially it is, it's done fucking brilliantly.
So this was October 92, just before the Survivor Series?
It was October 12th, 1992.
Yeah.
It was done as well for a promotion of Coliseum Home Video.
That's right.
It
That's what I
was.
was thinking.
Yeah.
I was wondering where I'd seen it, and I remember they showed the highlights on a primetime episode, and they spoke about it.
And you could
But
only
it
get
was-
it through the tape.
Yeah. And this was the only match they had that was sort of like televised.
Yeah.
They did have another match a month later, a 60-minute Iron
They
Man
did,
match.
yes.
But that's nowhere to be seen.
No.
But no, that's a great pick, yeah.
That's it. That's my pick.
I don't think they had another match until they were in WCW in
Correct.
97, I think it was. WCW sold out.
I only know that
Pay-per-view.
because I read it about
So I remember the
3 hours
promo
ago.
before, it was like they were both in the ring and Flair went 5 times, 13 times.
Yeah.
World champion. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so
it.
it goes back to me.
Yeah. Final one.
So there's a couple. I think we should do a couple of honourable mentions.
I've actually got a little list of them.
Right. Well,
I've
see if they're on here. So SummerSlam hitting the UK.
Yeah, I didn't write that
Okay.
down, but yeah, that's a...
I mean, it was massive for us.
Yeah.
It was absolutely massive. This would have been, if I was older, as I did this as a youngster, like my feelings on 1992, I would have obviously probably picked Brett and the Bulldog. Yeah. That's one of mine from SummerSlam 92. That's one. You got any?
Well, there was a guy on the Facebook page. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he said he was there and he attended the show.
Yeah, I imagine if you were a little bit older than us, you would have done. I'm sure that we would have done.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he was there and he said he remembers the crowds just being crazy, trying to get in and out. But yeah, I got that. I got also that same year they held the UK Rampage in April. I think it was in April time. It was just after
WrestleMania, which is what they still do now, isn't it? As a WrestleMania revenge tour.
That's right. It was called the European Rampage. They'd done the first one in 91, and then they'd done 92, and they'd done another one in 93. The 92 one had Undertaker versus Sid. What else was there? The main event was the Bulldog versus IRS, and the best match, which is a great match for 92, is World Champion Randy Savage, just after WrestleMania 8, versus Shawn Michaels.
I've seen that.
It was Shawn Michaels' first title match.
Yeah, I've seen that. I had the video.
Yeah. And there's a weird match on there as well. LOD versus Colonel Mustafa and Dino Bravo as well, which is a very random,
weird match.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Any more honourable mentions?
Not from me personally, but the reason I did that was because this is going to hit the theme of this podcast. Mm-hmm. It's the Royal Rumble of 1992. It's an amazing Rumble, probably the best Rumble ever.
Yeah, a lot of people remember the Royal Rumble 92, especially fans that are not fans nowadays.
It's the first one where really the Rumble means something. Because before that, it was... kind of just a prize with there was no rewards except for winning it. But in this one, the stakes are probably as high as they've ever been. The title is on the line, the vacated title. Yeah,
because they weren't even doing the match at WrestleMania until the following year with Yokozuna.
So yes, the title's on the line. This is studded with legends. If you go back and watch this, Hall of Famers are plenty. Even some people who are jobbers in this are megastars years before. Yeah. People like Nikolai Volkov. I believe the Iron Sheik as Colonel Mustafa is in there.
Greg Valentine
is in there.
Bulldog.
Yeah. Yep. Well, yeah. I mean, those are the current stars tonight. I'm talking about more old school people. Right. So, and then you've got people who will become legendary. You've got Shawn Michaels, and I should have known the January thing because I think it was a week before he had put Jannetty through the barber shop, and then it was his debut as the bad guy, and he comes in at number 5.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's his actual debut, Shawn Michaels, as the Heartbreak Kid, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ruin the match because some people might not have seen it.
Fucking shame on you.
It's got probably, especially at the time, a shocking ending. Absolutely shocking ending. Basically, someone nearly goes coast to coast, which had never been done before. It was always usually won by someone in either the high 20s, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I believe the only person who had ever lasted a sizable amount of time in there...
Jonny.
Yeah. was the model Rick Martel.
Yes, it was, yeah.
Because the model Rick Martel had been in there, I think the record was about 50 minutes, and I think Ted DiBiase had it before that for about 40. But I could be wrong.
I definitely know it was Rick Martel. Got a long, long time in there.
In 91 he did. He was in there, I think he come in at 6 and went all the way.
Bloody hell.
I think there was someone else, but I can't
to the final 4.
Right.
91.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading Steve Yossi.
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah, could be.
So I'm not going to ruin that. That is a legendary Royal Rumble. Quite possibly the best Royal Rumble ever. Along with, I'd say, 2001.
I like 2001. Yeah.
2001, and this the only thing I'm going to say regarding later, because everyone's entitled to their own opinions, the Royal Rumble 2001, it was seriously obvious who was going to win that Royal Rumble, especially when it come down to the last two.
Yeah.
That did not make it a bad Royal Rumble.
No.
Hadn't they already, to begin with, I think even the video at the beginning, they basically said 4 people. It was Undertaker, Kane, Rikishi.
There was 5 people who they basically said were going to win it, and then they said, but anyone else could.
Yeah.
But no pun intended again. The bottom line was Steve Austin was winning it.
Yeah.
I'll smell what you're cooking.
Is that the Rumble where... Is that one where Perfect returns?
No, that's 2002.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That actually, again, has another obvious winner. Triple H has just returned off of injury, and he comes in for his big return, and he wins. And it's still a good Royal Rumble.
Yep.
The year before, Brock Lesnar is odds on to win. He wins.
Yes. So even if storylines are pointed out obviously, does not make it a shit Royal Rumble.
I might leave it. But everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Exactly.
Everyone's. But to think that this year, and this is all I'll say about this,
Well,
to think that this, until later.
We'll
it's
get,
up
we'll
to
get
you.
to it later.
Yeah, but I want to say my
That's
piece.
all right. I'm not holding you back, mate.
Yeah, so all I'm going to say is for years and years, it has been quite obvious that whoever's going to win the Royal Rumble. If you go back and actually look at Royal Rumbles where they've took a chance, they have not paid off. Alberto Del Rio.
Who? Yawn.
Alberto Dario. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to throw a couple of honourable mentions in there?
If you want.
Yeah. Well, I got Razor Ramon debut.
Yep.
92. Yeah. Vignettes, and then came out.
Yeah.
Comes out straight on top as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Comes out right in the sort of main event area. Just that was not done back then. There was usually a build up. Like,
oh, he was over from get go.
He was more over when he started till about a year. To 93, as he goes down, he gets into the Intercontinental scene. When he first arrives in 92, he's in main event.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
I mean, again, going to the Rumble, 1993, he's in the title match.
Yeah. I got Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon's commentary.
Stunning.
Oh,
yes.
The Rumble is good.
Yeah.
So good.
Because a certain individual comes in at a very early number and Bobby plays it brilliantly.
Yeah.
Like saying he needs a drink, something stiff, like meaning a whiskey or something like that, while he's watching. It is hilarious.
I got Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, the first ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's a very, very unknown thing, and you can find it on videos.
You can, yes. It's a good match. I've got Papa Shango.
Fucking, how many have you got?
I've only got a couple. Papa Shango, 92, came in, burning people's feet.
I think we're probably the only people who are big fans of him, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Putting goo down their faces, making the Ultimate Warrior sick. Sean Mooney. I love Sean Mooney.
I like Sean Mooney. He was there for a long time, though, wasn't he?
Yeah. He did like the VHS videotapes, and
he was always in the studio. I don't know if it was.
I had to think about it then, but now I remember.
I don't know if it was a green screen. It wasn't all the time, but he'd always be in that studio area, and it came across as quite legit. Yeah,
he was also on the first episode of Raw where he's outside interviewing Bobby Heenan.
Yeah, I don't think you ever see him again, do you?
No, I don't think so. I got Berserker attacking the Undertaker with a sword, which you brought up on the very first episode.
I did. I actually believed for a little while that was why the Undertaker turned face. I don't know where I got that from. Yeah. It's not right. It's not right, but I did believe that because there was a strange turn in that match. That's a very strange match.
Yeah.
Like, the Berserker hits the Undertaker with all sorts of things, like his shield.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's not something that they would have done in 92.
It seems very out of place.
Yeah, like he's using his actual sword and his shield.
It's weird, yeah. I got Kamala being terrified of the coffin.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. And I have Mr. Perfect, the turn at the Survivor Series. Obviously, where he pulls the water over Bobby Heenan's head. On prime
So
time.
you're talking about the primetime show.
Yeah, the primetime one. And also...
I sent Stu that. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
And also Perfect at SummerSlam 92 in the build-up. Whose side is he going to be on?
That was
Warriors
fun.
or Savages?
And the whole Ric Flair coming down.
Yeah.
So in SummerSlam into the match. That match doesn't get enough credit, by the way. I know it's Warrior and people get on it.
Yeah.
But Warrior and Savage in that match, they put on a good match.
Yeah.
It is a good match.
And one really random one, episode of Primetime Wrestling in 92, you've got heel versus heel. Shawn Michaels versus Skinner. It's quite a good match. It's very different.
Oh, yeah, I remember Skinner. Yeah.
But, yeah, that's about it.
He used to have a crocodile claw. And he used to spit...
Tobacco.
Drip.
Chewing tobacco.
Is it dip or drip or whatever? They call it so, don't they, in America? Dip, don't they?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Chewing tobacco.
Basically a spit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's it. I think there is more memories for 92, but...
There we go.
That's
Have you got
it,
any? Because I haven't.
Pretty much the ones that Jonny has. 92 is one of my favourite years, and I would do the same as Jonny. I could probably come up with loads.
Bret Piper as well. Another great.
Yeah, I thought for a shoe-in that Stu was going to have that.
That's why I left it out as well, because I thought you might
Because
have.
we talked about it on episode 1. And I thought that was, you know... We talked about Royal Rumble 92 before, but I couldn't leave it out.
No,
especially with the Rumble just now.
Well, so we've had some listener feedback from this top 3 section.
Ooh, feedback.
Lovely feedback.
Mark Moore, first of all. Hi, Mark. The Wet Weasel moment was great, and the debut of Razor Ramon, among many other great moments.
Is the Wet Weasel the one?
It's perfect.
Series? Yeah.
Paul Fraser personally enjoyed the brawl between Undertaker and the Berserker, which you guys briefly spoke about, which nearly resulted in Taker being stabbed by Berserker's sword.
Yeah, he put it through the ring canvas.
Also the standoff face to face between Taker and NAILZ. I can still hear the chants of the chants at Slaughter. Let them fight. Let them fight.
Yeah, it was strange. That was done so strange.
Yeah, and I forgot Slaughter joined the kind of like
he joined us.
Tony Garea and all that little group of people.
Yeah, but wasn't he like the commissioner even then, or someone who was in charge of the group?
I don't know.
Because I always used to bring him up.
Yeah, possibly then. Yeah.
Helen Bell hasn't actually or really picked anything, but never mind. She just wanted to tell us it was the year that she first watched the Royal Rumble.
Oh.
Well, that
to be fair, same here.
And also, that is one, really, because it's the best Rumble. Really.
It is, yes. Yeah. So, yeah. Good pick, Helen. Well done. Thank you very much.
Off that, it's just reminding me of another thing, an honourable mention.
Oh, fuck, here we go.
The music to the pay-per-view.
No.
They always had the same theme every single year.
Yeah, they'd replay at the end.
Yeah, and what was the rest of them anyway? There was
So you two fucking finished.
SummerSlam one as well.
I can't remember that one.
The Survivor Series had one as well. But yeah.
Oh, that was weird. That was like a little jazzy type thing. It went. Yeah.
Anyway, Lee Spicer. Had to read up on 1992 as my memory was not great, and the things I pick upon, which I would have thought would have been great, was the following. Shawn Michaels versus Bret the Hitman Hart for the very first time at Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's great.
And The Undertaker turning face for the first time.
Yeah, that's a real organic type of thing.
What one was that, sorry?
Undertaker turning face.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been a wrestler that you would have ever expected everybody to cheer.
Yeah, it's weird, yeah.
There we go.
Oh.
There'th end the listener interaction.
Interactions. Don't be scared. Get involved.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, thank you guys. Cheers for getting involved in that one.
Thank you very much.
Now, we are going to head over to our other section. Our best or worst and of even
worst
moments.
Okay. So now we move on to the very best and the very worst the very first episode of Monday Night Raw. And before we jump into Doctor Who's TARDIS and head back to that Monday of January the 11th, 1993, I thought I'd throw in a quick Jonny history lesson for you.
Here we go.
Here we go. Whitney Houston was number 1 in the UK charts with I'll Always Love You.
Shite.
Banger. That's a banger.
It's not.
No.
Dolly Parton's was better.
A Few Good Men was top of the movie box office.
Great film.
I've never seen that film.
Really?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's mainly set in a courtroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's brilliant.
Kids were playing with pogs.
Were they?
Yeah.
92.
92.
Yeah.
Get your pogs out.
Pogs and Taz.
Get your pogs out. Tazos. I've still got all my Tazos. I've got the folder.
I can remember us being in upper school when they were being played.
Yeah, they were still knocking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Games were playing Super Mario Kart.
Damn right.
TV, people were watching Murder, She Wrote and One Foot in the Grave.
Do you know what?
I don't believe
I tell you
it.
what, that's a really good both of those together, because I don't know how Angela Lansbury, right, looked
Careful.
the age she did.
has recently died. Right,
she
careful.
really?
Yeah.
I was always shocked that I actually thought she was still alive. No, I mean no disrespect. Like, she seemed to me to go on forever.
Yeah.
Weren't she in Bedknobs and Broomsticks?
She was.
Yeah. When was that made? 1904 or something, wasn't it?
1822, I actually believe. It was the first ever colour film ever made.
That was the one with like cartoon and reality.
Yeah.
They went under the sea, didn't they?
Football match.
Yeah,
That's
line
fucking
and stuff,
brilliant, that match.
Yeah.
Oh, it's better than any World Cup final.
The little boy's got the knob, hasn't he? He's got his knob and he's,
Well, whoa.
he's polishing it.
Whoa. There's a fine line there, and you are about to cross it.
I think he even shouts, "Get off me knob!"
For fuck's sake, Johnny!
Portobello Road. I think they sing that. It is.
They do, yeah.
Portobello Road.
I
Yeah.
can't fucking remember it that much. I remember the football match. I remember
some
it
weird,
flying
like-
across the air on the bed.
Do you remember the ending?
No.
Well, the Nazis start to invade.
Get off me knob.
No, I can't.
So, Angela Lansbury brings all the...
A lot of skeletons and stuff will come in the.
No, that's Jason the fucking Argonauts, mate. But, you know,
Yeah, fucking
I can see how you get confused between that and Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Fucking Greek myth.
Didn't she cut off her hand and it tries to choke her? Yes, Evil Dead and, Bedknobs. No, she does a spell in the museum and all the knights' armour
I
comes
feel
to
like
life.
I know the spell. No, I'm not going to. I've got it. I can't think what it is. On the next episode, I'm going to learn that spell and I'm going to say it.
And her practising how to fly on a brand new broom.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. She gets it in the post, doesn't she?
She does indeed, yes.
We better move on.
Get off me knob.
It's like, no, shut the fuck up.
Well, I know, yeah,
You in bed knob some fucking broomsticks.
kids were watching Round the
I
Twist.
fucking love that film. Oh, mate.
Round the
I
Twist,
watched
yeah.
that recently. It's on Prime.
Is it?
It's fucking brilliant.
Oh, I was never a fan.
Tasmania and Rosie and Jim. That's
See,
what we're going to do, aren't we? We spoke about the old...
No.
Yeah, I still have plans to do that.
Yeah, we're going to
What,
do
with the barge?
the top turnbuckle barge trip.
I thought you meant the whole Rosie
The top
and Jim
turnbuckle
outfits.
cruise?
Yeah.
To take off the Jericho.
We're
Yeah.
going to do it. We're
Norfolk
gonna-
Broads.
Yeah,
if
yes.
anyone's interested, hit us up.
Yes.
We're going to go on a cruise on the Norfolk Broads and we'll record an episode.
Yeah.
I'd love
With
it.
everyone on
We'll
board.
do a live.
Yeah.
That's what
I
we'll
did
do.
look into how much it costs for the day, but I'm trying to get... If we can get it overnight, it'd be even better.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if anyone's interested, I'm looking at you, Rob, in particular,
You can have a whole day with about 30 people on there as well.
and it will still be more room than the fucking pods we had in Swansea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we will do again if we go to Money in the Bank.
Can
or
we talk a
AEW.
bit more
Yes.
about Bedknob and Broomstick? I was really enjoying that.
If you want to.
Yes.
So, ironically, I was watching One Foot in the Grave a couple of weeks ago, and my nan was down for Christmas.
I don't
I
believe
watched it
it.
for years, man.
I don't believe
It's
it.
fucking hilarious.
Don't believe it. That's what he did say, wasn't it? He did say that, yeah.
Yeah, but they put
Father
the,
Ted took the piss out of it by putting him in an episode, didn't they?
yeah, they put
Yeah.
the fucking... Then they put the fucking plant pot in the toilet. Because he tells them, can you please place it in the toilet?
Yes. I love the way when he picks the dog up. 4291? 4291?
For any of our overseas listeners, which we know we have got quite a few, right, this is an old 90s, I suppose you could call it a sitcom, really, about Britain's grumpiest pensioner.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
And just all the bad shit that used to happen, you know, in his miserable existence. Yeah, you guys probably won't find it funny at all, you know.
I think they would.
But it's great.
You always had that fucking tortoise at the start.
I was just thinking that, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's the episode where ain't he like buried in the ground with his head?
Yeah.
Like, in the dirt, like, it's coming out of dirt or something.
I know what
Someone
you're
put a bucket on his head.
I kept thinking there was a tortoise on his head, but yeah.
Sounds like Eric Idle.
Who sang the theme tune?
Yeah.
It is Eric Idle.
in the grave.
Yeah, Monty Python's Eric Idle.
Oh, you say you might as well face the truth.
But I'm just too long in the tooth.
Who needs Slam Jam? Where's Simon Cowell?
Yeah.
Sign us up. So yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to the story.
Now on with the show.
It's one of our famous tangents, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't believe it. We're live in New York City with the Manhattan Centre, and 2 weeks before the Royal Rumble '93. Now the attendance was 1,000 for the show, and don't forget it was uncooked, uncut, and uncensored.
And a little bit raw.
A little bit raw.
See what I did there?
A little bit raw. Now, for my best, I'll go for my best ones first.
Yep.
I've picked a few things because I couldn't just decide on one, and I've actually gone.
Fuck it. You set this topic up. Pick your best and worst moment.
Oh, yeah.
That's singular, not plural.
I know. Well, you can combine it into.
Well, you make us look like a bunch of morons. Like you turn up with an entire fucking encyclopedia's worth of info. He's not got any notes at all and is still spieling off more crap than I have.
I haven't been that involved, to be honest. I've just been listening to Jonny.
Well, mine goes on the word nostalgia, which brought in from last episode and the beginning of this one. Brings a tear to your eye.
And also because it was Raw 30.
It was, yes, just recently. And that is one of the reasons I picked it as well. Now, a few of the things. You got the music to begin the show with. I love that music. I thought it was great.
It was.
You had the theme about it all as well. You had the sirens going off. There was banners saying Monday Night Raw.
And just to interject quickly, Ico Pro.
I was just coming to it. Yes. Ico Pro.
What was it? Headlock on
Headlock
Hunger?
on Hunger,
Yeah.
The arena, the crowd, just everything about it. And it was a New York crowd as well, so they were pretty clued up on what was going on.
So, yeah.
I even liked watching the people in the crowd and seeing how they were dressed. For an early 90s.
Right, you know there's a word for that. It's called voyeur. It's illegal.
It is illegal, but when it's 30 years in the future, they had no idea.
So Johnny's just admitted he's a time-travelling voyeur.
Yes. I got in Doctor Who's TARDIS because Bill and Ted's phone box was being mended. To the banners.
Yeah.
To the people. It was a lovely time.
It was a cool atmosphere. That Manhattan Centre was fucking awesome.
Yes.
Just still, I always remember that shot where you have like Hal Finkel in the in the ring. It's sort of like, it's not bird's eye, it's like a diagonal bird's eye, and it's just iconic and really cool.
It's a boss bird's eye then.
Yeah. Fuck knows. I don't know what you would call that.
No.
Wonky vision.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah, that's it really for me. Good one. Short and sweet.
There we go.
Correct.
do you want me to go?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Mine's Yokozuna. Yokozuna just is amazing.
Is there any excuse to do something?
Yeah.
Monday!
Yeah, Yoko. It's just immediately fucking good.
Yeah.
I think he faces Coco, and I think it's the first match.
It is the first match
And
on a Coco Beware.
It immediately sets out like Yoko's. This is going to be sort of his fucking year.
Yeah.
This was the beginning of Yoko as well, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
and it's. I don't think the Rumble had taken place.
No, it was 2 weeks prior.
Yeah,
This was,
yeah. And it's, you just know that this guy's main event when you're watching him. Because you have to remember, it was very rare back then for someone to come in and actually then go on and win a Rumble and win the title. He was very, very new.
Yeah.
And immediately, as soon as he comes out, that place just goes silent.
Yeah.
He's,
They're in absolute awe.
Yeah.
To be fair. Absolute
He'd
awe.
only been there for like 2 months because his big first match was at the Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And that was in November.
Yeah, it's Virgil, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then between that and Raw, it was just squash matches. There was no other big matches.
He just comes across as fucking legit. And I saw another reviewer write this, and I couldn't agree with it more. He wrote that he would get over to stay. I totally agree.
Absolutely agree there.
He said that if you put that Yoko in now, and the way that he could wrestle for his size,
very ahead of his time,
he would shock everyone now and get over.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
100%
Yeah,
agree.
and he's just class.
Yeah. Good pick.
Yeah.
Really good pick.
Good one.
Mine's more on the comedic side than anything else, and it's Bobby Heenan trying to get into the arena.
Yeah.
It's just comedy gold. Bobby Heenan just being Bobby Heenan. I can't say much more than that. I just, when he's doing commentary, he's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
When he's a manager, he's fucking brilliant. But when he's doing comedic Bobby Heenan, he's just out of this world, man. He just cracks me up.
There's a reason I can't like this. And I know that me and Jonny have got it for our worst because it involves that individual.
Right.
And that's why I can't like this, because I think Bobby should have been there.
Yeah, Bobby
in the commentary.
He should have been on commentary, absolutely. But yeah, go fuck the Perry.
Yeah. No, I do fucking like it, mate. It's just the fact that...
I mean, it would have been a better show if he was on commentary.
Yeah.
But I just, like I said, just for comedic value, it cracks me up every time I see it. Especially when he's dressed up as matey boy's nan or aunt, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a wig on.
Fucking horrendous.
We'll let you go and carry on with your worst.
My worst one.
We've got the same one, and I think we've got a lot to say.
Shawn Michaels versus Max Moon. I'm going to keep this real short and sweet. I think it's just shit, and I can't stand Max Moon. It's just fucking ridiculous. Just utter shite. Sorry.
I need to go back and watch it. So it was one of those matches which I didn't think was good or bad. It was just sort of.
For me, it's like the the wrestling match equivalent of fucking terracotta.
I remember he come out and he fired those little things, and they hardly. They look like him striking a fucking light
shit.
up.
An interesting fact about Max Moon. I was watching something
His
a week or so
costume
ago.
cost $5.
He was actually called the Comic Kid before debuting on Raw, and I didn't realise that.
Yeah. Another thing about Max Moon, which is crazy, is that there were plans, and I don't know if anyone has heard this, there were plans for him to come to the ring on a jetpack.
Yeah, I always remembered something like that.
However, they realised how much a jetpack would cost to hire, and the safety issues of him going over the top of the crowd on a jetpack, and they just totally dropped it.
Setting everyone's heads on fire.
But they had watched a concert with Michael Jackson.
Ah, okay.
And they had seen Michael Jackson obviously pretend that he was on the jetpack at the end of the concert. Have you seen the one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And they thought it was a good idea to hire this jetpack, then they found out how much it was. And I think it would have cost them $10,000 at entrance. Along with the potential lawsuits of it burning people underneath.
People's hair is on fire.
Can you imagine if they put it on and it just fucking torched everyone underneath?
Well, Max Moon just took off and was never seen again. Just kept going. Who actually played Max Moon in this? Was it Paul Diamond?
I have no idea. I know Conan was
Conan was part of the Max Moon Coda at one point. But I think it was
this is early on, so I would think it's Conan, isn't it?
I don't know. I can't remember. I'm sure I looked. I don't think it was Conan.
It probably is the guy you say.
Yeah.
I know that Conan was under there at one point.
I think Paul Diamond has something to do with the Orient Express as well.
I think this version looks too tall to be Conan.
Yeah.
But either way, sorry.
It's one of those matches that I would go for a piss break on.
It is a piss break match.
Yeah,
it's dull.
It's not.
There's nothing to it.
I mean, to me, it's just a Shawn Michaels win, so I wouldn't
It's a burial match, and it's just pointless. I'm done with it. Sorry, because I don't want to go any more about it. I think it's just crap. Sorry.
You ready for this, Johnny?
Ready. How do you want to do this?
You give out the name and then let's go into it, because
okay.
This is a major fuck up.
My worst pick, I've gone for Rob Bartlett.
Yeah.
So Rob Bartlett had gained some fame on a radio show, performing different characters. And I can only guess that Vince McMahon must have been listening to the show, because Bartlett had no idea about pro wrestling, he had no knowledge, and he had no idea how to be a commentator.
He basically slams the show while it's going on, makes snide comments, is not funny in any way, shape or form.
No.
And he does these impressions in the show. He does this phone call with Mike Tyson, and it's awful, and it goes on for a whole match.
I think Savage and Vince go along with it the whole time as well. They're going along with him being Mike Tyson, apparently calling him from prison.
Yeah. It's obviously
weird.
just been incarcerated, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But it's awful, and it doesn't even sound like Mike Tyson.
Vince is having a blast though, he's loving it.
Yeah, well, Vince has obviously hired him because he likes him, because no one else did.
Some of the other things that he said as well, Yokozuna should be wearing a bra.
Yeah.
I remember,
Regarding Koko Beware, he said, oh, so that's what happened to Gary Coleman. I couldn't think who Gary Coleman was.
He's the little short guy.
Yeah.
What, from...
I can't remember, but he's a short...
Different strokes, that's it. Yeah.
What did he say? What was his catchphrase?
What you talking about, Willis?
Yes. What you talking about, Willis? Yes.
He's just shit. The whole way through, he's not fucking funny. That's it. And he's so detached from the wrestling. Like, every time he comes on or talks, it almost makes you want to switch it off. Yeah. It's that bad.
You know, I'm glad you brought up something about this, because I've got something to say about this, about the Royal Rumble. And it's along these lines.
Okay. Did you want to do that now, or do you want to
finish
this off first? Okay.
No.
They tried to do the slogan, the uncooked, unprepared, or whatever it is, done something.
Uncooked, uncleaned.
Yeah. But they kept doing it wrong. And Vince was getting annoyed, and he kept making them redo it. But yeah, it was just embarrassing, just keep having to hear him redo it.
Yeah, so this guy, just moving on, Jobs, you can carry on with whatever facts you've got, about him.
I've only got one more fact.
Yeah. So this guy, me and Johnny, actually, last time we were around, we were going to do a live, but we ended up watching, bad Raws, basically.
Yeah.
And we just kept picking random Raws, that were so strange. And we've got something to talk about, actually, because I don't think Stuart knows about this. That Bob Backlund thing we need to talk about at some point, even if it's off the podcast.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
We'll tell you.
Okay.
We've found the greatest thing ever that I think everyone's forgot.
Okay.
Well, no one ever knew.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so this Rob Bartlett, I think it's about 4 weeks after we were watching one of the shows randomly, and he comes on as Vince McMahon, and it's so bad. I thought that it was one of the official people standing in the background who were like the security or something for the Manhattan Centre.
Yeah.
Because the guy looks so awkward on cam. And then he starts and he does the worst Vince McMahon impression, and he's just awful. Like, me and Johnny were watching it and we were actually quite into matches, and then he would start talking, we would go, oh, shut the fuck up. He was that bad. And the other two, you can tell I've had enough of him. The other two, when he's standing there, it's, I think it's Gorilla and Bobby.
Yeah, I think it was.
And they're standing there and they're just ignoring him because they don't like him, you can tell. And they don't even acknowledge him at the start of the show. They tell you all what's going to happen wrestling-wise, and they're entertaining. And then this guy just jumps out and goes, like Vince, and he's fucking shit. And you're like, what the fuck is that?
Fucking hell.
He's so bad.
I got one other thing he said was during the Max Moon Shawn Michaels match, he says Shawn's going to pull a knife out on him in a minute. And his last appearance was on April the 19th, and he lasted 3 months.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
It's too long.
There is actually an interview out there somewhere. I haven't watched it, but it's with him, and he talks about his experience on Raw during those 3 months. which might be quite interesting to listen to.
Yeah, and or if you really, really want to punish yourselves, go and listen to those 3 months worth of Raws and listen to him, and you'll know what we're talking about. It's me and Jonny were watching a Raw, weren't we? And we were actually enjoying it, and he was ruining it. He was actually ruining the fucking whole thing. I'm
going to start looking at some early Raws from 92 then. Right.
So yeah, there we go.
Well, there we go.
Yep.
There ends our...
Just talking, because this is still Raw related, about what I just said. So, me and Jonny put on this random 1995 Raw. And we found something so funny that we had to replay it 5 times. Right? And it was a feud, a starting feud between Man Mountain Rock.
That's it, yeah.
And Bob Backlund, right?
Right.
And it was... Bob Backlund was in the corridor, and it just looked like the corridor of like a sports hole. It was really strange.
The arena was tiny.
Yeah, it was tiny. And he picked up Man Mountain Rock's guitar and was going about like this generation all liking this, and he was going on a rant, right? And he suddenly like got a little bit excited and swung his arms about, knocked some Pepsi, I think it was, or something like that, onto the floor, and at the same time slipped on it, fell live. It must have been live, but he carried on the promo and he was still going as he fell over, and he fell over legit, and I'm talking bad, like he was rolling across the floor.
But he stayed in character the whole time.
Yeah, and he must have landed on the cameraman because it went static, didn't it? All that static come up. But he was still going while he was like rolling, falling on the floor, going, "Hey yo, like this." And me and Jonny were like, "What the fuck? How's this not more famous?"
I'll have a look for that.
I might have to start watching more old wrestling just to see if
and Jerry Longley, you can tell. He knows that they're trying to hide it. He goes, Backlund just fell over, didn't he? He's finding it really funny. Like, and he's going, what happened to Bob Backlund there? Like that.
You got everyone else who's trying to hush it up, and he's going, no, I want to talk about this.
No, he's sort of like going, man, did you see that Backlund thing? Like that, and things like that. And it's just funny. It was so funny. And it was just random. It's got to be one of the funniest things I've ever seen from Raw.
It was good. Oh, dear.
It's kind of normally at this point that we announce the next topics.
Well, we do news, don't we?
I know, but I've picked the topics for our next one.
Okay.
But it ties in with our news at the end.
Okay.
One of the topics. So I'm going to leave it till right at the end before I announce what the next ones are going to be, if that's all right.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Yep. I'm happy.
So, what's been happening lately? What have we all watched last night?
The Rumble.
Or this morning, in my case.
I watched the whole thing, and I tell you what, did that go on for fucking ages?
Oh, yeah.
They really give that some fucking time.
4 hours and 22 minutes.
Was it really? I thought it was 5 hours.
I won't lie. When I looked at it this morning, when I went to start because I had to watch it on my phone because my boy was sat watching fucking Netflix cartoons, and as soon as that running time popped up, I went 4 minutes.
They're shorter than some of the older ones, don't you?
It felt like it went on for an eternity.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, but
good.
God, it felt way longer than what it actually was.
I think if you were me watching it at 1 a.m, you would know how I felt.
No, couldn't have done that.
Yeah, they weren't happening. I did consider it, but
Yeah, not when the boy woke up stupidly early. No, exactly. I'd still be asleep now. I'm going to let you two start off with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we kicked off in a strange way, actually.
Yeah,
we kicked off with the... I knew because I sent it on Twitter.
I wasn't expecting it at all.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I like it.
I like it now I've seen the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because the reason they did it was because they wanted that championship match to go on last.
Yeah.
Because of what happened.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
I like the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna Well, I can spoil it, but this is going to come out about a week later.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cody won. I have no issue with that.
No, none at all.
I think the fact of the matter was this was long-term planning, and I think we'd have had more of a story if Cody hadn't got injured.
Yeah.
I think they knew what they were going to do, and they've known for a long time. I absolutely loved this Royal Rumble, unlike quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
I've found. I thought this was put together very, very well.
We spoke about this before we started recording, and I know James feels the same way. Hopefully Jonny does. Hopefully.
No, he might not.
If not, yeah, it's fine.
If not, we don't have to have a war over it.
Exactly, yeah. We've got to kick 10 bells of shit out of each other and see who gets thrown over the top rope first.
Yes. Can we do it anyway?
Yeah, why not? So me and James agreed. The men's Royal Rumble set up feuds.
Yeah, that's what it's there to do. And
Brilliantly.
And I have not seen a Rumble do that for a very long time.
Same.
It's set up at least 4 WrestleMania matches.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which was quite shocking to me because there were parts of it that actually sectioned off into those feuds. So a good example would be Brock Lesnar. Now, Brock Lesnar comes in, right, and he's absolutely decimating everybody.
Yeah.
And then Bobby Lashley comes in afterwards and knocks him over, right? So now we're set up, even though it's still been it's been brewing
it's been
anyway.
In the pipeline for a.
But now we're setting up that Bobby. That's fine. Now we're setting up that Bobby is getting the better of it.
There's always fucking
Go
one.
for it.
I like the Rumble. Okay, I don't have any problems really. With what you just said about Lashley and Lesnar, where he eliminated Lesnar and he destroyed everything, I would have liked Lesnar to help eliminate Lashley.
Yeah, so would I.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
That would have been good.
I think that would have added a little bit of salt and pepper on the creative. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
What I mean by it, Jonny, is they were setting stuff up. This is just a general example. So we got the setup of Edge and the Judgment Day. We had Edge come back, and the Judgment Day they're not dominating the Rumble because the commentators saying they're dominating it, but they're actually not really, are they?
Surely this feud's been going on for a long time now.
Crown Jewel.
Going on.
Crown Jewel. It's been going on since Crown Jewel.
It is, but unfortunately, regardless of whether we like it or not, they still set it up quite well.
Yeah.
The other
the Edge coming in, Edge's psychology, the way he did that was fantastic.
Yeah.
He had no plans to win that Rumble. No. He was just, his whole face was rage when he come up through to the entranceway, looking at them, and then there's a big brawl between them all. I think he eliminated all of them except Dominic. Didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
And then you have the stuff in the hallway, which is actually holding up Theory, which I really liked. Because Theory went, I'm not getting involved in this.
You know what? I was actually quite impressed with him.
He's good.
Theory, I'm starting to like him.
But the story with Theory is he needs people to like him. Yeah. Even if he's a heel, you can't just go, right, your main event. Yeah. There has to be something that people get behind.
Yeah.
And he's actually very, very good. He was good in there.
Yeah. The other feud that I picked up on, and fuck, I hate to say this, because it will happen, is Seth Rollins and Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Well,
and can I just point out to James, I'm going to make him read this out. I made one note about Logan Paul. What's that say?
Shitbag Logan Paul showed up. And I couldn't agree more. A lot of you, some of you might not know, there is something going on with Logan.
Stu's got a bit of a disliking for him.
I hate the cunt as well. But
fuck right off. Fucking scamming cunt.
Yes.
Sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. Fuck off.
So what's happened is he has created one of those crypto games. Yeah. In a nutshell, because I don't know everything, and I'll say allegedly because he's suing everyone. Yeah. So allegedly, Logan Paul has basically kind of been scamming people off of this game. Not necessarily him. The people that he hires have been taking loads of money out of the thing. And someone who's a businessman, the figurehead, really should know who these people
basically
are.
He's set up a patsy, isn't he?
He
ain't stupid.
I mean, yeah, with who he's hired. So I think Logan Paul does this as a publicity stunt and comes back for the Rumble thinking that the WWE audience wouldn't know, and that's not the case. When he come out, everyone booed him.
Fucking lynched.
And it almost looked like the wrestlers called an audible and said, let's surround this motherfucker. Because if they all beat him up...
That looked brutal.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Because he's actually a face. So
He's meant to be, yeah.
yeah, well, he had to turn heel, win the match.
He had no
because he was being booed so badly.
Yeah.
Coming out of that, though, I quite enjoy watching Logan Paul versus Ricochet.
Yeah, that can
I
happen.
think that would be a good match.
I think that was just a spot.
Yeah, but I think them two would work quite well together.
I think when you see that spot, you think to yourself, that could be a match, but after he throws Rollins out, that's a WrestleMania setup.
Yeah.
And I hope Seth decimates him. And I hope WWE does the right thing. If it's found out that Logan Paul has caused a lot of people a lot of problems, and I do say allegedly. Allegedly, Logan Paul might have caused people a lot of problems with this crypto zoo thing. I hope that WWE tear up his contract and that we don't see this guy again, because if you guys look into it, it's criminal what he's done.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Certainly the company. Yeah.
How did we feel about the outcome?
Happy.
Yeah, we knew it was going to happen anyway. I think.
We all knew.
Did we all know?
Yeah.
So none of you thought Sammy might win it?
No.
I did.
None of you thought The Rock might turn up?
No,
Couldn't give a
I
shit.
think Rock. I did question Sammy coming in.
I'm saying it wasn't as clear cut as everyone made out, because Sammy, going into this, had just done the trial, and he was over like a motherfucker. He could have potentially been in that Rumble.
Yeah.
If they'd have booked it, and some of the Usos are in there, and somehow Sammy was in there, Sammy is then muddying the waters massively, because then everyone's going to go, hang on a minute, because he's over.
I genuinely think that if the minute that we'd have heard Sami Zayn's music in the Rumble, I think it'd have ruined it.
Yeah, it could have done because of what... But at the point, what we have to remember is we don't... Because me and you can talk about this, we don't know what's going to happen in the Universal Championship match. We had no idea that we were going to get that.
Yeah.
So those were the two favourites to win that. It was they were actually joint favourites to win it.
Yeah.
And it didn't make any sense of it going on first for Sammy to be in there.
No.
That makes sense.
So it actually made sense for us. Why would Sammy be the only Uso in there?
That's what I mean. To me, it just wouldn't make any sense.
No, because he's supposed to be in the group protecting.
Yeah.
So
unless he was in there to save the title, so no one else could get a shot.
Yeah, you'd have to have all of them in there though, because you couldn't just put Sammy in.
Exactly. Yeah. We spoke about this briefly as well before we started recording. I think we were all kind of unanimous who the star of the Royal Rumble actually was.
And I think that we need to talk about that a little bit, and I think we need to highlight the fact that the Royal Rumble, or what the Royal Rumble should be for, is to set up feuds and to promote stars moving forward. And even though... who we're going to talk about, and I won't say his name until we all talk about it, even though he's highly rated, last night was almost his fucking coming out party.
Oh, yeah.
Because now he is legitimately made off of that Rumble thing. Yeah. So you can say who it is, because we all know.
Dominic Mysterio. No, I'm only joking. No, it's Gunther.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing.
He was just phenomenal. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think we all agree that he is a phenomenal talent anyway, a brilliant wrestler. But this...
What was it, 1 hour 11?
1 hour and 11 minutes.
That was a long Rumble.
That
must have been one of the longest Rumbles ever. Because what I loved about that Rumble... Sorry, Stu. What I loved about that Rumble as well was that when 30 hit, there was still loads of people in the ring, and it went on for a long time.
Again, I said that, I think it was to you, Johnny, before we recorded. Not only did we get a Rumble...
Yeah.
And, you know, most Rumbles in the past have kind of finished quite quickly after the...
After the 30, you start to see people go over.
I genuinely felt like we got a full match afterwards.
Well, we did with Cody and Gunther.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. But they were in there, everyone else, for quite a long time.
Oh, hell yeah.
After 30. Because if you think that Cody was 30, Cody was in there for quite a long time before it comes to the last two.
When it came down to just the last two, it genuinely, for me, it just felt like we got a full, you know, like 20-minute, half-an-hour match afterwards.
Yeah.
It was great, you know, and fair play to Gunther. You know,
fantastic.
I mean,
and also, just because he was 30, fair play to Cody, because Cody is not healed.
No, he's not. He's still not fully recovered. He's not
healed from that.
No.
And the only other person that did that also come out at number 30, and you should all know who that is.
John Cena.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And he got an absolute rapturous applause when he came out.
I didn't know he was still injured, so I said earlier that I would have preferred him to come out, maybe swap places with Logan Paul.
That could have been done.
And then Cody would, you know, it would have been a bit more unexpected because you knew Cody was coming out at 30.
To be fair, if Logan Paul had come out at 30, I probably would have thrown my fucking phone out the window.
I had no issue with Cody winning the Rumble, and I wish him all the best.
Same here. I'm looking forward to see where it's going to go.
Yeah.
I do worry that they're going to turn on him at some point.
What, the fans?
Yeah.
I don't think they will. I actually think that there's a certain group out there, and I think, unfortunately, I do not want to say this, but I think, here's the way that I look at it, right? I love all wrestling, I love AEW, I love everything, but I think there's an AEW contingent out there that still have an issue for some reason, and I don't know why, because I hate to tell you this, but if Cody was not involved in AEW, there wouldn't be an AEW.
True.
So I really don't get it. And there wouldn't be. Because they wouldn't have got it off the ground.
No.
They would not have got that off the ground just off of Omega and Jericho. They needed some legitimate stars there. And Cody was always the figurehead. He was the person who come out, sat there in a suit. He looked the part.
Yeah.
Anything else about the Rumble?
What, just the men's one?
No,
I'm happy with
We've
that.
only done the men's, haven't we?
We have. I was disappointed with Johnny Gargano. I think he didn't have any reaction coming out. It was just a forgotten...
I think it has to do... We spoke about it, didn't we? I don't know if you agree. I think he's just aimless.
He's got nowhere to go at the moment.
He's got no story. There's no reason to get behind Johnny Gargano.
Honestly, the only way I can see something happening is as and when Ciampa comes back.
Yeah.
But what was interesting is the commentary tried to really put him over. They were like, there goes Johnny Gargano's been in there for 30 minutes, and everyone was like, I didn't even realise he was in there. Not being funny, like,
Another thing goes for Braun Strowman as well. I can't get behind him. There's nothing there.
Do you know what? I fucking thoroughly loved that running power slam he gave that prick Logan Paul.
Yeah, but it wasn't done that well either, was it?
No, it weren't. Do you know why I liked it? Because it was botched. And it looked fucking painful.
Something else that was botched as well was Kofi Kingston's second year in a row.
Yeah, I think Kofi needs to start.
Mate, right, that looked bad.
Yeah, it did.
Do you know what, the one person I feel sorry for more than anything?
Who?
Xavier Woods.
Yeah,
because he looked like he was trying to save that chair. Did you watch his left hand?
Yeah, I mean he went in a complete crumble. I mean, I would say now, Cody, please stop doing it. You don't need to see it every year. And that one was dangerous because that's a moving chair.
Yeah.
So I don't know where he thought that was going to go, because if it went forwards instead of crumpling, he was going in the crowds.
Yeah. I mean, if he'd jumped on the chair, and his momentum would have pushed the chair away from him, then you got the possibility of him landing on his neck or his head.
Well, the fact
him just going back.
The fact that it goes is really scary, because there's no safety in the landing. You're just coming down.
Just for your own safety, Kofi, because you do tune in every month when we do this podcast, just think about your sake. You've got a wife, you've got kids. Think about them. We don't need to see you do this. We know you're good. We really do. But just for our benefit and your family, stop. Thank you.
Another thing regarding Kofi and Xavier, I would have liked to have seen them both go at each other.
So would I.
I was looking forward to that.
Yeah. Instead, they decided to do
Slap each other's asses.
yes, bongo time.
Because there's no other way of putting it. They just went into some sort of, Swiss mountain,
bongo tribe.
Trance. All it was missing was a pair of lederhosens. Slapping each other. Do you know what? When they faced off, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was just nothing.
It was shit.
Yeah, it was disappointing. It reminded me of I thought it was going to be like Royal Rumble '89 when it's Demolition facing each other. But instead, imagine if Demolition had slapped each other's asses like that. They wore the leather.
It just seemed pointless. But I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. It was good.
It was all right.
It was because I didn't know that the men's rumble was going on first. I thought it was all right, okay,
yeah,
all right, yeah, it's different. I like that. Different's good.
I think they might have done it once before where it's gone on first.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, I'm sure it's been once before, but it was a while ago.
Big shout out, just quickly. Some people might have hated this. I really liked it.
Yeah, same.
No, I'm gonna call out. I like the Rumble. I'm gonna call out two people who I thought were really funny in the Rumble.
Right.
And that was McIntyre and Sheamus. After it got past about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Those two reminded me of two British blokes standing up at a bar with a pint just watching everyone else. They were just sitting in the corner at times watching what was going on.
To me, them two just looked like they were having fun.
Yeah, they were fucking around.
Yeah, they looked like they were really enjoying themselves.
But if you think about it realistically in a Rumble, if you know someone's got your back, right, and you're two big, tough motherfuckers... Wouldn't you just stand back and wait for everyone else to fucking come in? Because that's what they were doing. Like, they were just standing there like this at times on the turnbuckle. Just like that, like two blokes up a bar having a pint. I thought it was funny.
It was good.
One more thing.
You want it?
Just before I forget, I'm going to call it now, right? There was a spot in the Rumble with Cody Rhodes imitating Goldust. With the kick in the corner.
I love that.
We did the whole... like that. Goldust's contract at AEW expires this year and he said he's not going to do anything else. I think he'll come back at some point. And on my first episode on Top Turnbuckle Podcast, I said Goldust will go into the Hall of Fame one day, or he should go into the Hall of Fame one day. I think he'll leave AEW, and with Cody doing well, he'll follow his brother and he'll get inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Do you know what? I wouldn't mind it for one match, and I'd like to see him working out the back. I'd like to see him in NXT.
Yeah.
He's got his own training academy.
Yeah. I'd like to see him in NXT.
I'm calling it now. It's going to happen. If you don't, I'll leave.
You've heard it here first, folks.
I'll get out.
Should we also say that just quickly, that Cody sort of broke the Forbidden Door last night by doing the... bucking of the gun and doing the Kenny Omega sign at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because he's actually said that was a homage to those two.
Yeah. Yeah, I did notice
the Young Bucks and the he did the goodbye, good night.
Yeah. Yeah, did clock that as well.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the next match?
Let's move on.
Go for it.
Right. The next match was the Mountain Dew cash grab pitch black match.
It did leave me fancying a bottle of Mountain Dew because I've never had it.
Yeah.
I quite fancy.
Nice,
what a real a normal original.
I've never had any.
Do you know what? I'm not a fan.
Mountain Dew Code Red.
Do you like it? I'm not a fan.
That's Mountain Dew Code Red. If you're willing to sponsor us.
Yeah, for me, this match was just a complete promotion for Mountain Dew.
Whoa, fucking slag them off. I'm trying to get a freebie here.
Yeah. Do you know what? Hats off fucking to them for turning the whole ring into their own product, because...
I haven't seen anyone else do that.
I think everyone was going, it's like Naomi's stuff. The reason why it was
She's
done,
doing well now, isn't she?
Yeah, the reason why
That worked out well for her and her mate.
the reason why it was done was because Mountain Dew's fucking bottle glows in the dark. It's as simple as that. That's why the ring ropes are all glowing.
Oh yeah, we know.
It's nothing what I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be. They weren't even going to come to the ring. I thought it was all going to be like the match he had with John Cena at WrestleMania that time.
Yeah.
I thought it was all going to be backstage in the dark. Figures would appear and weird stuff would happen. But no, it was just a no DQ match with the lights off.
Right. We've already spoken about this before we recorded. I enjoyed it. I loved his new look. I loved the glow in the dark paint, the borderline skeletal look with the face paint and on the beard.
With the glow in the dark paint, does that mean it's going to come back every time?
No. I think it was just just a one-off. I like, the whole changing of the eye colour thing. I'd like I said to James and Jonny before we recorded, 5 times I watched that match because I was trying to figure out at what point did he change his, put contact lenses in.
Well, he had them on mid-match.
Yeah.
Because
I just can't see where he did it.
He did that devil-like look at one point and he had him in then. So he did it at some point mid-match.
The mask, I like the mask at the end. Overall, as a match, don't get me wrong, it wasn't the greatest match. It wasn't shit. It was, it's what you'd expect to follow a big event like the Royal Rumble. You're always going to have a match afterwards. It's always going to be tough to follow. And let's face it, with the Royal Rumble, it's going to be fucking really hard to follow it. I enjoyed it. I know there's people out there that didn't. I'm sat next to 2 of them.
You're not actually.
I liked it. I really liked it. And for me, as you guys know, and you guys that listen, I am a massive Bray Wyatt fan, and I want this to go somewhere. I really do.
Couldn't
and
agree
I
with
really
that anymore.
fucking hope it does. So all the best, Bray, because
I do.
He does listen.
Yeah, I hope that he does really well. I don't know if I like that match or not. I don't because it was so. You didn't?
No. I wasn't a fan.
I watched it and I was like, the whole time.
Get out.
The whole fucking time I was like, I don't know what to think of this. For me, I couldn't see past the fact that they'd lit the place up like a Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
And I felt a bit sorry for Bray because I would have liked that to have been a bit darker. And I don't mean like the actual, it's a pitch black match, I don't mean the lights. I mean like the sinisterness of it.
Yeah.
Because the fact that you had to illuminate it took it away from me. And I watched his promo afterwards on the press conference.
Yeah, I've still not watched that.
And what it did was it lit up the Mountain Dew, and that's how I know for 100% that it was to do with the Mountain Dew bottle, because that's what they did in the press conference. They lit up the Mountain Dew bottle to show that that's... Yeah. So I don't think that was Bray's plan for this pitch black match to happen like the way it did. I think it was a sponsorship thing. That's what I'm trying to say. So a lot of people are having a go at Bray, saying that he come up with this. And I don't think he did. I think he helped with a sponsorship match.
I won't lie. Yeah, it did feel like a bit of a cash grab for Mountain Dew, But let's face it, there's plenty of other sports around the world that, you look at football, prime example.
Oh, yeah.
Or soccer for our American listeners. There's billboards and banners all the way around the pitch for sponsors. The beginning of the show of the Royal Rumble itself was sponsored by Arby's. Money's money at the end of the day, and it's all to do with advertising. So,
I must say, get
it when you can. Fair play.
I don't think I've ever seen a match where it was so heavily sponsored on something.
Yeah.
They might as well have called it the Mountain Dew Dark match instead of the Pitch Black match, because there was even a sign for Mountain Dew put in the middle. Did anyone notice that?
I did, yeah.
And I was like, this is so...
I'm genuinely quite impressed with the whole product, because it's money's money and it's a business at the end of the day. You still, get your money where you can.
And that is the fact. That is the fact, and the point. It is a business,
Yeah.
and regardless of if anyone doesn't like Bro, if they do, Bro's making them a shit ton of money.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And he doesn't. In fact, he hasn't wrestled yet, and he's still top merchandise seller. Well, he wrestled last night. But, to my knowledge, he was top merchandise seller, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I seriously doubt WWE have got any issues. I wouldn't if all my t-shirts with his face on were selling.
Yeah.
This is a business.
I'd love a t-shirt with my face on it to be selling.
It's a fucking business.
If any artists out there are listening and would like to design us a t-shirt with our three faces on, let us know.
I seriously doubt they're starring the match and going, well, Bro didn't have a 5-star here, so we might have to cut ties. They're fucking looking at the merchandise sales of the guy.
I genuinely would love to know how much how much revenue they got for that whole Mountain Dew sponsorship.
Apparently, it
for
broke
that match.
records.
That doesn't
Triple
surprise
H
me.
said it at the end, the sponsor in the press conference. I've seen the press conference as well. So Triple H was remarking that the sponsorship for this, in other words, I think it was Applebee's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Applebee's and whoever else was involved, that was double whatever they'd ever achieved. I think for a Rumble.
Wow.
Double in sponsorship. So the ends justify the means for them. I think we sometimes forget that this is a fucking business.
Yeah, I think we do. I just weren't a fan of the match. It wasn't what I was expecting. At this point, I just don't know what I'm expecting.
No, I get you.
It's Bray Wyatt, isn't it?
Yeah, I just worry.
But
Yeah.
So, next up.
It's Bliss, isn't it? It's Bliss and
Yeah,
Bianca.
it's the Raw Women's title match between Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss.
I didn't enjoy this match.
No,
I didn't. No.
I thought it was just your typical Raw TV
Main event.
match.
Yeah.
There was nothing to it. There was nothing to add to it, really.
No, the finish was anticlimactic. You expected more out of this match. You expected something to happen with Alexa during this match.
In all honesty, I will state this right now. When the match ended, my first reaction was, oh, it's finished.
Here was my theory when I was watching it. Right,
Thanks, mate.
I felt that they might have cut this match short and had Alexa lose and look like a jobber a bit. She didn't come across as a jobber, but it was just, as you say, a normal Raw match, right?
Yeah.
So when they hit the video, I immediately started to wonder if Alexa was going to win the Rumble, because I knew it was next, right? And they hit that, and it was all about, do you feel in control now?
Yeah.
And all shit like that. And I thought, is she going to come out as that dark motherfucker?
Yeah.
Hid under the ring as well.
Yeah, no, I just thought she was going to come out in that dark thing, you know, like that dark character, and maybe win it. And I was like...
Or she could have come up through the ring as the dark character into the Rumble.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
I think similar to the other championship match, the main event, I think that this was a means to further a storyline. Yeah. If that makes sense. I don't think the title was ever the thing. I think it was to get to the end and play that video.
Yeah.
To move on Alexa Bliss's character. Because Bianca Belair weren't even involved. The story was with Alexa at the end.
Yeah.
She'd already fucking gone up the aisle with the title.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
There's nothing to say
There's not a great deal we can say about that one. Yeah.
The video package was more intriguing than the match.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, next up is the Women's Royal Rumble.
Good.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I really enjoyed this. It's good, especially the ending.
Would have liked to have seen a couple of feuds similar to the men's made in there. I've got a couple of stars out of it. Mm-hmm. That doesn't necessarily, again, mean the winner.
Yep.
I was very, very impressed with Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I thought she held her own in there and looked like a star, actually. I think she's very raw and bland, but I think if you could mould her into a decent character, I think that she's got, like, Rhea Ripley potential.
Zoe Stark stood out for me.
Yeah, she was good.
Really well. Roxanne Perez. really enjoyed.
She was good, and she could have done with being in there a little longer.
Yeah. Which does lead on to my... I'm really bored with the whole damage control numbers game thing. I'm really struggling with this, and I was so excited when this first started, but it's becoming boring.
Yeah, it is.
I thought it'd been boring for a while now.
There was a worry, and it was an internet worry, similar to what I hate. You know, where I say someone controls the Rumble?
Yeah.
There was a worry that these three were going to get in there, and luckily they didn't to a huge degree. Get in there and throw every single person out until like number 20.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, please don't do that. Because that's the most boring Rumbles. You know, when there's like one person and they're just throwing everyone out and you see the numbers and we're like at number 15, you think to yourself, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah. Can we please talk about the absolutely horrendous botch from Dana Brooke on Rhea Ripley?
I didn't see it properly.
I don't remember this one.
There was something happen. Rhea Ripley dislocated her knee in the middle of the match. I can tell you this because I watched a press conference. Rhea Ripley dislocated her knee as she fell off for this. Got back up, and thank fuck for her, considering she was going to be the winner.
Yeah.
It come back into place.
Okay.
As she got up, but it dislocated her knee.
Now, if you go back and watch it, fuck me, she looked pissed.
She was going to hit her. There was legit. There was
that was pure rage in her face. She was going to fucking...
Yeah, because she got up to hit her. Like, it wasn't a slow get up. It was a get up as if I'm coming back to give you a mega
She's going to give you a... Yeah, that's exactly what I was about.
She's been around for ages, and this was her 6th Rumble. What has she really done?
Nothing.
She's an easy fire. I know it sounds harsh, and I don't want to say that about anyone, but she's an easy... we've come to terms with the release of Dana Brooke at any moment.
She was incredibly sloppy during that Rumble.
I feel that with Lacey as well. I feel that with Lacey, she's the same.
I'm not even talking about her.
I liked Lacey Evans.
No.
I'm just fed up of her keep coming back as a different character.
Or she's now Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, but the problem is, Johnny, they're trying so hard to get her to connect to the audience, and they can't.
Well, even the crowd weren't really booing her. They were just kind of like...
No, she's not resonating with the audience, which is why they've got high hopes for her.
That's why, because they've changed her gimmick so many times.
It's becoming desperate.
Yeah, they're trying to bridge a connection.
2 weeks' time, she'll come back as Macho Man.
At one point, she was pregnant with Ric Flair's child, wasn't she?
Yeah, that'll work out well.
Why was that dropped?
Because I don't know.
Rick weren't in trouble at that point.
I think she became pregnant.
She got pregnant.
Yeah. That's it.
Is that just the reason why?
I think it was. Yeah. I've got to say, Asuka was brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant entrance.
It was Kana.
Yeah.
To let everybody know, it weren't Asuka. No, you're spot on, but it's Kana. That character's Kana. It's not Asuka. I mean, anyone who's watched her Japanese work will know that is.
One really, really big thing that, I mean, I genuinely got fucked off with during this Women's Royal Rumble, right? And I hope you're listening to this. You probably ain't. I don't, if you are, if you aren't, I don't care. Corey Graves, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up.
I've never been a big fan of Corey Graves.
I've never liked him. And this what I'm about to say is just... And I've quoted it. There were 2 things that he said during this, and the second one genuinely made me angry because it was. I personally felt it was borderline racist.
Okay.
Right. So the first one, where he was talking about Candice LeRae, and they were talking about the shiniest wizard.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, what makes hers the shiniest wizard? Has she got a lot of them?" Like, shut the fuck up. Just do your job. You're meant to be talking, commentating the wrestling. Stop making stupid You're trying to be funny. You're not funny.
I remember the conversation, but I didn't. I thought it was like Pat McAfee had been away.
Oh, I'm so happy he's back.
And they were trying to explain who she was.
Yeah.
Is he back for good though? Or is he just?
Nah, I think this is a one-off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't listen to it, I must admit.
But it went on for like 5 minutes.
I did, yeah.
He wouldn't drop it.
Yeah.
And even you could hear Michael Cole going, yeah, thanks, Corey. It was like, you know, the polite way was going, can you just shut the fuck up and call a match? Shut up. The worst one was about Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah.
It was when she entered, and they were talking about, you know, obviously she grew up not far from San Antonio, this, that, and the other. And I quote, that means Raquel Rodriguez is probably related to 40% of the people in this arena.
Yeah. It's something that Jerry the King Lawler would have said in the 90s.
Right. I'm sorry. Fucking out of order.
Yeah.
No need for that.
I didn't hear that, actually.
Honestly, I went back like 2 or 3 times going, I'm fucking hearing this right. Like, I'm sorry. No need for that at all. If you don't get called up for that, I will be absolutely shocked and disgusted. There is no need for that shit.
I can't even remember it.
Mate, I
don't remember.
Fuck, it annoyed me so much. My piss was boiling.
Really?
Like,
Fuck.
genuinely, man. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
There's no need for that.
I can't even remember that happening.
I can't even say do your job because you're shit at that.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
I am going to call at in a positive way the announce team, and I'll tell you why. Right? They took shots at Vince McMahon.
Oh, yeah.
Did you
I
hear
know.
that? Right?
Yeah.
They called Piper Niven's name at least 15 times.
Nice
on
to see her
purpose.
back.
Right? They went, Piper Niven!
Yeah.
Piper Niven! Like that, right? And then there was one from Michael Cole, which was gold. And you guys might remember this, and this is a shot at Vince, right? Someone said at one point, they said, I think it was during the main event.
Yeah.
They turned around and said, look, yeah, was it Sami Zayn? They said, look at Sami's face. Look at it. And Michael Cole went, I can't look at it from the ring because for 25 years, I've had
to stare at the
been
monitor.
told to look at a monitor.
Yeah.
That was a Vince
good old
shot.
Michael Cole.
That was a Vince
Good
shot.
on him.
I thought that was hilarious. And the Piper Niven one was personal.
That was brilliant. Yeah, it was.
Like, it was almost like you did that because she was fat.
Yeah.
And called her that.
I'm like I said, I'm really happy to see her back.
Yeah.
Really happy to see her back, and I hope they give her a proper go this time.
She was a force in there. I mean, she took
Damn
a hell
right.
of a shot from Tamina. Tamina needs to stop doing that that kick because...
I thought you were going to say wrestling.
Yeah,
She just
absolutely.
needs to stop wrestling.
She's dangerous. She's as dangerous as her other power.
I'm not. I don't want to talk about her.
Has Tamina still been around for a while? Did she just retire?
No, this is the first time I've seen her in quite some time.
Yeah.
Much like that other fucking loose cannon.
I'm not even bothered about her.
Not Neil Jack.
Do you know what I thought was so fucking funny? They even botched her entrance and no one cared.
Yeah.
No one give a fuck.
No, there was no reaction to her entrance at all.
Because
sorry,
I knew she was coming in because I saw that irresistible force hit that go around the ring. You know, that lighting. And I was like, hang on a minute.
When it came up on the monitors, I won't lie, my reaction was, who the fuck's that? And then it said Nia Jax, and I went, oh, fuck's sake. It's not a personal attack on you. I'm sure you're a lovely person. I, genuinely mean that.
Neil.
But
Neil Jax. That's the one that went in the men's. That
But I just find you, a bit too reckless and dangerous in the ring.
Yeah. I did see a really funny tweet from someone, and it was someone quite famous who went, oh fuck, now we're going to have 29 injuries.
I'm sure didn't Michael Cole even state this is nowhere near a bigger impact as since when she broke Becky Lynch's nose.
No, I thought that was really,
along the lines.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny. They said, here comes the person who changed the whole dynamic of WWE when she punched Becky Lynch in the nose and basically made Becky Lynch
famous
for the fact that everyone turns on her for doing it legit.
For a botch.
That made me laugh.
The pinnacle moment of her career is a botch.
Yeah.
enough said. Anyway, outcome, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. The women's one was difficult, wasn't it? Because this kind of direction, I like to see a good feud here with Rhea.
Yeah.
Moved up with some bumpers. At the moment, she's very much structured in that Judgment Day, but she doesn't really have a reason. I mean, obviously, she's won the fucking Rumble, so she does.
Well,
but
yeah.
we're talking about building a feud.
Yeah. Who could she have a feud with between now
I think it'll be Belair.
I think, hear me out, I'd like to see her go for both.
No. I don't think she can do that.
Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Who's SmackDown Women's Champion?
Charlotte Flair.
There's the past there, but I think knowing that she's so big on she's such a big fan of Bianca, both of them are, of each other, and they want to set up this rivalry. That's what they've been talking about. We want to go down as like the two main people of this generation.
Yeah.
I can see it being Bianca.
Yeah, I
Because then she hasn't got to go to SmackDown.
Do you think there could possibly be a title change hands before WrestleMania?
No, I don't.
Do you not think they might give it back to our mate Ronda?
No,
I don't think so.
No, you telling me you wouldn't like to see that?
I've heard that they might have come to terms with Ronda.
What? Got rid of her?
Yeah,
Shame.
that's what I heard.
Gutted.
Get out.
Yeah. Mate, if ever there was a perfect opportunity to use my own soddy catchphrase, I had it robbed from me.
No, I think that
It was a dark and stormy night.
The wind was howling.
Ronda got a P45.
I think they stay the way that they are. I can't see.
No.
I can't see the change. There's a necessary change there, unless somehow Beth Phoenix gets it. That's the only way, and that's ridiculous.
She weren't in the Rumble, was she?
She wasn't.
No, but she did make an appearance.
Yeah, they set something up there, which I thought was strange because it seems like a
Speared Ripley, didn't she?
Yeah, but it seemed like a WrestleMania mixed tag was being set up.
Do the mixed tag at the next pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have to.
Elimination Chamber, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Montreal.
Is she Canadian?
No, it's in Quebec. I don't know if it's in Montreal, but it's definitely in Quebec.
It's in Canada.
Yeah.
It's important.
Thanks for clarifying that after we were naming Canadian places there, Johnny. Is Neil Jack's going to be there for this one? And Simon Carroll. Am I the only one that's not made a fuck up with the name tonight?
Probably.
Yes!
There's still time.
Let's give it up for me.
But, no, it's important that Quebec thing, Johnny.
Is Phoenix Canadian?
Sorry?
Is Beth Phoenix Canadian?
I don't know.
Not sure.
I think...
Obviously Edge is.
I don't know. I feel like she is, but I may be wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say yes, I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, you've got to remember what I showed you with
Quebec. Oh, yeah.
So, we'll talk about that after the main event, and I think there's an obvious story going into the Elimination Chamber now.
All in all, I think we're all coming out of the Women's Royal Rumble quite positive.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so.
It was all right.
Interested to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't always have to be built up straight away.
Indeed.
Right, finally, we come to the main event. Kevin Owens versus Roman fucking Reigns.
This match is a normal match, and it's the main event happens after the bell rings. Yeah.
Can I ask you two one quick question?
Yeah.
You can.
Right. Was it just me, or for the first 10 minutes of that match, Roman Reigns was no selling?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I was very tired.
Johnny, was it me?
I don't know.
If you get a chance, please watch it back and let me know what you think.
There was that thing happened recently between the two of them, didn't it? There was that. Was it on the last pay-per-view where Kevin Owens went into business for himself and actually hit Roman Reigns?
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if this was. No, I think the payback might have happened already. I'm sure it did. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, watch it again and just let me know what you... Same with you guys listening. Don't know how you feel. It might just be me. I just felt for the first 10 minutes that Roman Reigns was deliberately no-selling quite a few things that Kevin Owens was doing.
I don't want to be harsh on Kevin Owens, but I wasn't paying attention to the match because I was waiting to see what was going to happen at the end.
Yeah.
There was one bad botch.
Oh, the jumping, the attempted...
Fucking hell.
So this move, it was an attempted Mark Miro move. I forgot what they used to call that, Johnny. You'll have to help me. The one off the top right where he...
Shooting star press.
The one where he jumps like that and then flips.
Yeah.
Because he tried to jump and he totally missed and slipped off the...
He landed on Roman Reigns pretty badly.
I can't think what it's called.
I can't remember what that's called. But I don't think... It might be called the shootings.
Is it one what Brock Lesnar did at WrestleMania?
No. No, it's something...
Because it was almost like he was facing Reigns and then tried to jump and spin
round.
He faces
one way and then he jumps on the top rope and then flips back like a...
I'll do it. There's the jump. So it's on the top rope.
Yeah.
Jumps
back.
Goes over.
Yeah. I don't know if that's got a move. It's a bit like a moonsault.
Spinny McMoonsault.
It's a moonsault.
We can call it the
springboard moonsault.
Spinny McMoonsault.
The person who did that the most that I saw was Mark Miro.
I'm sticking with my name. Fuck off.
Yeah, Mark Miro was the only person I think I can remember doing it.
So I don't know what he was doing, but he come off of there. It actually sort of, in a way, it kind of made the match feel more legit because someone had just fell off of there and the commentators did a good job of covering for it.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were talking about how the Rumble and there'd been sweat on the ropes and stuff. The commentators did a good job of that.
That was McAfee.
Yeah.
Called that.
Did a good job.
It's like Mountain Dew, it's everywhere.
I know.
They were saying like things like fucking...
It's fucking slippy up there.
Do we want to mention the Skittles? In the fucking pitch black match?
No.
What were they? Does anyone know?
Well,
they look like Skittles.
I thought they were the things inside the beanbags.
I
thought it was a beanbag.
I thought at the start, we're talking now about, we're going back to Bray Wyatt's match, by the way. One of our little tangents.
Fault, yeah.
I thought it was a drink to start with because, like, when it went over the table, it flowed like a drink. But then I kind of noticed it was floating in the air and slowly spiralling down. Like, fuck,
I thought
last time
Sparks.
I spilled a drink, it didn't fucking go up in the air and then just float.
When he started messing about the table and there was this stuff coming out, I thought it was sparks or something.
I thought it was sparks.
So I thought, actually, that's quite cool. Then when I realised what it was, I was like, that's shit. It just looked like a fucking mess, didn't it?
Yeah.
It looked like a bunch of popcorn that had become luminous on the
a bunch of popcorn that had been left just outside of Chernobyl.
Ooh. Yeah, we won't pick that in. But we can if you want. So let's move on anyway.
Yeah, back to the main event. Yeah, I've got to agree with you, James. It wasn't good until after the match.
But after the match...
was brilliant.
It was some of the best storytelling I have seen in a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
Very long time. And if you... and I'm going to say this, and I hope anyone who listens to this, if you rage at me, that's fine. I don't care. If you didn't think it was, it's because you have an agenda against Roman Reigns. Because I'm not being funny, right? I don't like Roman Reigns.
No.
But if you put... That story was absolutely brilliant.
You seem shocked by that, Johnny.
I don't mind Roman Reigns.
Neither do I.
I find him boring.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is... What I'm trying to say to you, Johnny, if someone goes... it was shit and they've got an agenda because that story at the end was so well done that it reminded me of something that Jake Roberts would do.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I've never heard a crowd so loud when Sammy hit that chair shot.
And I said this to you before we started recording as well. I love the fact that to start with, he looked like he was going to do it.
Yep.
And then he stopped. and kind of went, no, I can't, because, these are the guys that took me in. And then he seemed to have backed away. And you're like, oh, okay, maybe he's going to, fucking do Owens over. And then the chair, that swing literally did come out of nowhere, because sometimes you can see him bringing the chair up and it was just whack, boom, done. And that crowd went mental.
I think there's so much there that we're not talking about of how good that was done. So the actual start of it was done on the stairs. So it was actually done in the match. There was cracks beginning to show that Sami was looking at Roman a different way.
Is this when he was throwing...
He was smashing his head on that...
Yeah, I thought that was quite...
Yeah, it was very, very risky.
Looked horrible.
And Sami was... That was the point, wasn't it? And Sami was looking as if to go, who the fuck are you? Like that.
Yeah, see, that was the point where I kind of started to feel like, fuck, I don't know if he's actually acting.
Yeah, and then after the match... Just the whole way they done it. The whole way, props to Kevin Owens, the way that they handcuffed him, the way they kept hitting him. It was very hard to watch, even in a PG era.
It was barbaric.
Yeah, it was like torture. And the way Sami sold it, because even before he threw the chair, there was a moment where Sami gets angry. And they actually, if you remember, they go head to head and put on each other's forehead. Yeah. And you see the anger there. He comes out of it. It was done so well. And then...
we get the key factor.
Then we get a swerve. We see everyone decimate Sami. And then all of them look up and turn. And Jay's standing there. Actually nearly crying, probably because of the emotion of this, because it was quite emotional to watch. Yeah. Imagine being in there, right? And he sells it fucking amazing. I'm not his biggest fan.
No, right? I'm not a fan of either of them, but he was brilliant.
And he gets out and he doesn't acknowledge anyone. He doesn't help Sami. He doesn't acknowledge them either or attack them, and he just goes out distraught.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
I did think that he was going to turn around at one point and just go back and destroy him, but then he didn't.
I thought it was a perfect ending.
Yeah.
I've got to do one slight moment of sympathy to... it was Jay, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who started the battering of Sami first on the floor. Or Jimmy?
I think so.
Which one?
I can't remember.
Whatever one that didn't like him to start with and liked him, and yeah. So I really feel sorry for his neck. Did you see how fucking far Solo threw him?
Sami?
No,
I didn't.
His bloody relative.
I didn't.
When he was on top of... when they got... obviously Sami was on the floor and...
he pulled him off.
Pulled him? He literally grabbed him by the shoulders so hard and threw him off Sami. To start with, I was thinking, fucking hell, he's going to help him. And then he just threw him off, and you saw the poor guy's head go, whip back as quick as possible, and then he just got on top of him and started battering him as well. I thought the poor fucker had got whiplash. He threw him so hard.
I've not been a fan, this is all I've really got to say about this, I've not been a fan of the Bloodline for ages.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
It's grown stale with me, that's all it is. Now, after that, I am. I can't wait to see what happens on Raw.
If this was the payoff for me to have to watch them for so long, I'm all in, because that to me that is wrestling. That is drama. There was so many emotions in that. If you're sitting watching it properly and you're fully in it, and you're watching it, I was actually shouting, "Hit him, fucking hit him for fuck's sake!" Like that. And I imagine if you was in the crowd.
With the assault on Sami, and even more so on Kev as well, because they both listen to this podcast. I don't know, because like I said to you guys earlier, I had to watch it on my phone because my little boy was watching Netflix, and obviously I'm glad I didn't put it on the TV, because that assault at the end would have been far too much to let a 6-year-old watch. I sat there with literally like one hand over my mouth going, fucking hell.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
all it lacked for it to not be on the same level as like The Rock and Mankind was blood.
Yeah.
It was
absolutely.
It was vicious.
Yeah.
It was like it was cruel. It would it elicited the exact response that they wanted. As soon as that fuck you Roman started, that was not a crowd that was fully into the thing. But my God, did that crowd give Roman some at the end?
Got that. I wrote that in my notes. Yeah. Post match was better. Post match was better than the actual match. Speech marks. Fuck you, Roman.
Guys, I think that ending was, and I will say this from my own point of view, I think that ending is probably one of the best things I've seen WWE do in 10 years.
Yeah.
It was that good. And I was so invested in it. I was like, this is excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
And I don't even like the Bloodline.
No, same.
But I can't knock it, because if I knocked it, I'd be lying.
Yeah.
It got me. It got me pissed off. It got me like... It's very rare that I'll sit here on something which I know is scripted and it'll have me so invested, I'm actually going, hit that motherfucker. Like that. It was so well done.
It was. Yeah, well done to all the backstage crew on that one.
Well done to all of them.
Well done to the writers and everyone involved in that. You've
and Jay as
brought
well.
me back into that story.
Yeah, and Jay as well. Jay Uso.
Sold that perfectly.
That part was this... It wasn't an icing on the cake because you weren't expecting it. It was a shock after it all.
Pure heartbreak.
It was
one of the comments that Roman made as well. He goes, "If it weren't for me, you'd still be doing that jackass shit as well." Which
there was a few audibles heard, motherfucker.
Seth.
And he said
motherfucker.
fucking. Reigns said fucking a couple of times. He said it in the ring, and he said it when he was walking around with Sammy.
Watch your mouth, you filthy fuckers. This is a family show.
I thought it was funny as fuck.
It was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Overall, everything as a whole pay-per-view, what do we think?
I thought it was excellent.
I thought it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Did you see though what followed?
What?
The thing that did let it down a little bit. The CGI fireworks at the end of the show.
No.
Yes.
I didn't even take notice of that, to be honest.
The fireworks were CGI and they just didn't look very good. I don't know.
Is that not just because we went, right? Didn't we, to Clash at the Castle? Yeah. Now, I looked this up and it was right what we said. They didn't have the regulations allowed to let off fireworks in there. Were they allowed to let them off?
They did have a fireworks during with Cody and Edge as well.
Judgment Day.
What, outside?
Yeah.
Because the outside ones were... There were ones outside, weren't there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if you let off a shit ton of fireworks in an area, not everyone's a wrestling fan.
No. True.
Do you know what I mean? So, like...
There's a fire marshal having a fucking panic attack.
Are you talking about the ones that come out of the arena outside?
Yes.
Yeah.
They rule.
I'm wondering if they're allowed, if they were allowed to do it.
You've also got to think of curfew times.
Yeah. And birds.
Yeah, which is...
Past.
No, I don't think give a fuck about that.
You do mean ornithology, but birds, don't you? You're not just being a pervert again.
No.
Yeah.
Birds with them pants on.
One other thing that let me down as well. They didn't have the original Royal Rumble theme at the beginning. The nostalgia one.
Oh, yeah.
It's Rumble.
With Vince being back, which is something that we could still talk about. With Vince being back, we could have had like where they show the faces and he does the fucking...
Yeah.
I was wondering where this was going then.
Another thing as well.
Nailed that one. Nailed it.
Which they haven't done for a while at the Rumbles. They used to do them. It was like the little 10-second promos they did.
I used to love them.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
They should bring them back.
They're real old school.
Yeah. But they didn't, and that was the Royal Rumble. And there we go.
There we go.
Do we want to just talk about the legends and how we feel about that. That's been a hot topic on the internet.
Booker T, I don't think he needed to be in there.
Booker T looked, by the way, I really do like Booker T as an athlete.
Yep.
He didn't look like he was ready for it at all, and his kicks were extremely slow, and it looked like someone could catch him at any second if they wanted to.
He looked like he'd been riding a horse for a month when he walked down.
Yeah.
He looked proper bow-legged.
Yeah, the kicks, what he used to do, which were his bread and butter, looked slow and cumbersome, and he's getting on.
Do you know what? And I know there's been a lot of people out there that have bitched and moaned about this. I'm really sorry. We're in 2023.
Yes.
What is the fascination with bringing it back like legends? Let them be legends.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm totally with you.
Bring X-Pac back.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Every year I ask for him, and he still hasn't come back.
But you know what? Is he actually a retired wrestler? Because I don't think he is.
No, because he wrestled for GCW.
Yeah, so I've got no issue with X-Pac coming in.
No.
I think he gets to have a few matches.
Right. I know he did release a statement saying that he wasn't physically prepared for it. So maybe, I'll agree with you on that one, because he is still active. Yeah.
He can still go.
Fine. If he comes back, I'll be happy with that.
But I don't want to see the boogeyman anymore.
No.
Right?
Bring him back.
I don't know how Charles Wright will feel about that. He's not in that great a shape, I don't think.
Why wrestlers who are now... I mean, Booker T's got to be in what? He's 50s, 60s?
Yeah, he's done for Texas.
I get that, but he's, he runs his own wrestling academy. He's a very successful trainer. Let him do what he's doing. You don't need to keep bringing back these old school wrestlers. Yes, I know it's a nostalgia thing, but it's not fucking needed.
I don't think Triple H wanted to do it. I think he thought to himself. I think he thought, I don't want to do this, but I'll give them one in each one of them, and he made sure they were from the area.
Yeah.
Because Michelle McCall's from Texas as well.
Very true.
Which is why they put her in the audience.
Yes. I thought that was quite good.
Yeah.
That was actually quite good. Bearing in mind, she had also been on social media posting, I haven't been asked to come into this one.
And she knew.
I'm like, you crafty fucker.
Clever.
Regarding these legends, I'm just going to bring this over to something. Raw 30.
Yep.
They had all these legends come back, right? Now, these legends are like from, 20 years ago or so? This got me thinking, like, when they were doing, say, shows in 95 or 94, 93, 92, why did they not try and get wrestlers from 20 years prior to come back on them shows?
Because it does absolutely nothing for the product. No one would want to see Ivan Putski versus Bret the Hitman Hart.
So, one other thing that I did notice on...
That's why I don't get it.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just...
One other thing I did pick up on social media as well is, where were the female ones?
Well, legends.
On that Raw episode.
Yeah, the
Raw
Lundra
30.
Blaze, with her title that she dropped in the bin in WCW.
And can we just say as well, this legend thing, which I do like, right? But WWE's production of the legends, right, is to highlight one or two, which is usually either Steve Austin or Hulk Hogan or someone like that. And the rest of them always play poker.
Yeah,
why are they always playing poker?
I'm wondering if this poker competition's been going on for years.
Yeah.
And then the winners carry on to the next show.
Winner stays on.
Yeah. That's the only way I can think of it.
The only one, just quickly, because this is funny, the only one I enjoy is the legend that they've thrown back, because they had to cut his microphone off, right, is they brought back the Iron Sheik, right? And I think it was in the backstage, and they showed him some figures, and it was Hulk Hogan and him. And he started doing that rant. You know where he goes, yes, and he was doing it, and he got like fucking himself on top of Hogan, and he was going, I get him and I break his back, and I think they cut him off because
was this from the Raw 30?
No, it was from 1 year ago. They put him on and he started doing it.
So I saw a tweet that the Iron Sheik put out on Christmas, and it was fucking brilliant because this is all he does on his Twitter, and I think it's funny as shit.
His Twitter's run by fans.
It's great with the fact because all it said was "Merry Christmas to everyone," but not you, Hulk Hogan, you fucking jabroni.
His Twitter, he's got like certain people to do it.
It's just fucking awesome. The only one thing that really I genuinely enjoyed from that episode of Raw was Kurt Angle and DX.
Yeah.
That I've like, Road Dogg's funny anyway, but it was the whole, you know, the Road Dogg Jesse James, that long pause at Kurt. I was wanting to be in DX.
I like the bit where they did the huddle, where they all went in one corner and they left Kurt there. And they all and Triple H kept looking over, like as if he weren't looking, going like that. Just none of them wanted to fight, did that? And they were all doing a huddle to say how it was.
It was also the dig at a few people, you know, a few whatever people on social media that've been having a dig about him about bookings, and he even made the comment, "Do you know how hard it is to do these bookings?"
Yeah, it is.
Like, good on him. Well done. Good on him.
It's
Stand
hard
up
to
for yourself.
book.
Fair fucking play. Should we get to our last segment?
Do we have any more news?
This is the news.
Oh, we are already
We're on the news. We're about to start the news.
We've got we've already done the news of the Rumble, so
Yeah, and we've pretty much covered Raw 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about Vince? Do we want to clarify this?
I don't.
Do we need to?
No.
Do you want to?
Do I want
can
to? The only thing I want to clarify is that Vince isn't actually back. He's back to either to facilitate a sale. He's not back to do anything creatively.
Who do we want to buy?
Who do we want? This is what I'm talking about. This is. Do you really think that Vince, being and I'm gonna do this now, so I promise these spots of being the horrible narcissistic cunt that he is at the moment, and not even thinking about his own family? Do you think he really cares about creative? He's come back to sell the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And what he's doing is he's trying to get as much money as he possibly can. It's as simple as that. He wants to make sure the TV deals are right and everything like that. This is way beyond wrestling.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with
He
wrestling.
just wants the money.
Yeah, it's a business thing. It's not wrestling involved. He's taken over the chair so they can't fucking make any decisions while he's not there.
Yeah.
Yep. Who do I want to get it? I wouldn't mind Comcast getting it, and I could see Endeavour going for it.
Through Disney?
No.
No.
Nope. I don't see any reason for Disney to buy it.
Saudi Arabia?
That doesn't bother me as much. It bothers everyone else.
Who else is
I think everyone... I'm sorry, because I might edit this out, but I think everyone thinks that if WWE is bought by Saudi Arabia, it's being moved to Saudi Arabia. I'm sorry, it's not. They know, the Saudis know their target audience, and nothing will change. Nothing.
You've got to look for other aspects of sports that, you know, Saudi Arabian companies or businessmen own.
They're very proud of their things. They put a lot of effort and money into them.
It's horse training alone.
Football teams. Look at Paris. Ask Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester City how much they hate their owners, and see what they say. Or Newcastle. Yeah. Because they won't. They'll tell you that they've got the best owners ever. Yeah. Because they do is Man City, when I was younger, because there'll probably be some football people listening, were a laughing stock.
Joke. Right? An absolute joke of a team.
And now they can buy whoever they want.
Yeah.
They are literally Saudi FC.
Yeah. Fair play.
But they don't care.
It's business. Business is business.
I care. Pisses me
off. Good for business.
Yeah. If the Saudis bought it, it would stay exactly the same.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
They
Just put the money into it, make it better.
I heard people saying that they wouldn't have women anymore, and I was like,
oh, fuck off.
I was like, that would make zero sense for them in a business standpoint. Yeah. You're not looking at it from a business point of view. You're looking at it from a cultural. You're going to let
big names like Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, you're going to put them out of the job.
over your culture when there's money on the line.
Bollocks.
No.
Anyway.
No, they don't give a fuck. What they'll do is they'll put money in.
Yeah.
And they'll just go,
they want to see it succeed.
Yeah, they'll either make loads of deals with people, like we're talking over our heads of wrestling fans, like all the TV rights and stuff like that. And they'll also put more into the production, like we've seen at Saudi Arabia with all the droning and all that sort of thing. They're not interested in changing it. They want to make money.
Yeah. It's business.
What's everyone think they're going to do? Sack the whole women's roster?
Fucking ridiculous.
We'll buy it for $4 million and take half of our assets out of it.
It's just. I'm sorry, but that's just narrow-minded idiots that say that. you know, sorry. Fucking grow up.
What's next?
News. I've only got one thing written down in the news.
I've got one thing as well, which is pretty different to you.
Yeah, mine.
Money in the Bank, UK.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we haven't talked about this.
That's not mine.
Yeah, so they could have held this in a bigger stadium, couldn't they, guys?
I think I don't agree with the stadium, and I think that's a bad idea.
I mean, it's hiking the prices up, first of all, and also it's 20,000, and I'm sorry, in London, I think they could have put at least 50 in London. Sell out 50.
London, I think, could have done better, yeah.
Well, they put 60 in Wales.
Yeah.
They put 67 in Wales.
Spurs hold?
White Hart Lane.
No, I mean, what's it hold? Capacity, sorry.
Oh, sorry. It fucking holds about 60.
I mean, was it,
so does the Emirates.
Queen Elizabeth Park hold?
Don't know.
Because I don't know. Obviously, you know, for those overseas that don't know what that stadium is, that's the Olympic Stadium in London.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Olympic Zone, West Ham's. I'd say probably about 40 to 50.
Right.
But
I went there to go and watch the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Right.
They've filled that.
Mate.
What's Wembley?
90.
Which is a little bit of a worry. It's a little bit of a worry.
Yeah, but then you got to think of, like, from the from the stage point of view, you've got all your lighting rigs and everything, and think about that massive section that was in Cardiff that was unused.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so I don't think Wembley would be a problem.
Well, that wasn't that. What they did was that was seats that weren't sold.
Yeah,
actually, what they did was they were trying to get 80 in.
Yeah.
And what they did was, because you guys might not know, because we were there. I don't know if we talked about this. But they made a section, sort of like if you're a football fan, behind the goal.
Yeah. And
they put a giant Welsh flag over it and turned the lights out on it, basically. Yeah. It was not a sellout. It was, I'd say, about 15 to 20,000 under.
Yeah. It's about 75-80% capacity sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But he could do that.
They could do that.
I think Wembley would be doable easily.
I think they'd like to sell it out, and I think 50 to 60 Emirates or the new White Hart Lane would be good.
I've only got one bit of news, and that is obviously, you know, the recent passing of Jay Briscoe. Yeah, what a massive shock that was.
Yeah, that's sad news. Yeah,
very tragic. News, unfortunately. It was
one half of the Briscoe brothers.
Yeah, I've got to say, and I think I've even said it to you before in the past, Johnny, I genuinely think that they're one of the best tag teams of the last 20 years.
It's a shame because I feel like they were going to be a big part of the Ring of Honor rebrand as well.
Yeah, massively. To be fair, their entire career in Ring of Honor, the Briscoes carried that tag team section of their roster.
And they're tag team champions, well.
They still are, yeah.
They were due to defend the titles on the next pay-per-view on March 31st.
And
it's just fucking cruel, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all you can say. It's just fucking cruel out of nowhere.
Jay had also been a past Ring of Honor heavyweight champion. Obviously, Jay and Mark had their feuds with each other in the past. And quite possibly the most recent match they had with FTR, the dog collar match. I don't know if you guys seen it.
I've seen highlights of it.
It's brutal, but it was a perfect ending for that trilogy of matches.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the Briscoes' earlier work. I haven't been keeping up with them as much.
I think that they got better with every passing year. They truly got better, and they just tore places down. It didn't matter if it was in Impact, Ring of Honor, GCW, anywhere on the indie circuits. They really tore the place apart. They were such crowd favourites, and I think it's an absolute travesty that he's been, taken away so soon.
It's just shit.
Yeah.
So It's the only thing I've got to say about it. It's just fucking shit and it sucks. But I think Jonny made this point earlier, which is really relevant for everyone involved in that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we talk about Jay, who passed, but you know there was other victims of it as well.
Yeah, there were other people involved.
The accident, and yeah, it's sad. The whole thing's sad.
Yeah, and obviously there's pro wrestling tees at the moment are doing some fantastic t-shirts at the moment, tribute t-shirts to Jay Briscoe, and they've given 100% proceeds from every t-shirt to a fund for obviously the Briscoe family, and you know, and everyone that's affected, because there are still people affected now. There are still people in recovery, suffering with life-changing injuries. Yeah.
Have you watched the tribute match on AEW?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that the one with Joe
Mark
Lethal?
and Jay Lethal?
Yeah.
That was a tough watch.
It was hard for Joe Lethal as well.
By any chance, did either of you see Samoa Joe's tribute video?
No, I haven't. No.
That was absolutely devastating to watch. I didn't realise them two were as close as they were.
No, I watched the AEW one.
Yeah,
that's the only one I watched, and then but I haven't been keeping up with AEW, which is bad.
I haven't a lot lately, but I needed to watch that.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up.
It's been really good.
Yeah.
The past month, every episode I felt like has got better.
Good.
It's like they've put behind them the whole CM Punk situation.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, it's just got really good.
That's going to cover up my hoodie.
I think the sad fact about, and this is the only time I'm going to mention him because he was talked about in the Rumble again, I think the sad fact for, and I won't even use CM Punk, Phil Brooks, is he's now got a he's now got a label. He's now seen as poisonous. He's now seen as toxic.
Yeah.
And I can't see why anybody would think that any company's going to touch him with a barge pole at the moment, because he's going to disrupt any locker room he's in.
Did you see the interview with Seth Rollins when he called him the cancer, and if he ever came back to WWE, he wouldn't be welcome? And this was an interview before the Royal Rumble during the day.
I kind of agree with that. I know everyone thinks I'm a hater of him. I'm not. I'm judging by the character and what he's done.
I'm a massive fan. I just wish he'd grow the fuck up.
Yeah, and he can't. Unfortunately, he can't get over himself. He thinks that his way is the only way. He's the best. I mean, in the interview, he told Tony Khan how to run his own company.
Yeah. You don't do that to the boss. Sorry. You don't.
A couple of things with AEW. There's a couple of the negative things. MJF is the champion, but it seems to have fallen into the same category as everybody else who wins the belt. They have a great chase for the title, but then it just kind of, they lose direction once they've won the title. And he's coming out and he's doing the same promos, just slagging off the fans, running people down, and it's nothing different than he's done every other week.
So he's basically becoming the heel version of Hangman Page.
Yeah.
See, thought that one.
Which is a shame.
The problem is it's very easy to chase and it's very hard to hold that ground.
Yep.
And he's got to get a little bit more creative, because the problem is, and this is the only, because I think he's, like he says, and I truly believe it, I think he is a generational talent. The only problem with him is he's got to learn to adapt, because he can't. He's so extreme in what he does. We've heard it all before. You can't just keep slamming everyone for shock value, because in the end there's no shock. Everyone's expecting it. They're expecting him to come out and call someone the worst thing that you can possibly be.
Who is this Mark? He gets mentioned every episode. I've never seen him yet.
I think he's friends with Neil.
And Simon. And Carol.
We're Marks.
Pleased
Obviously,
to meet you, Mark.
Yeah, Mark, nice to meet you. Skid Mark.
I've got a couple of them. So I see him.
Oh, obviously, they're building for the Iron Man match at Revolution, which is on March the 5th with Bryan Danielson.
Ooh.
Bryan Danielson's coming out every single week, and he's basically just wrestling someone different every week, and he's just having fun.
Yeah, I
wrestling
think
who
he's
he
just
wants.
enjoyed himself, Bryan Danielson
He
down
said
there.
that
Good on
this
him.
is his last year he thinks he's going to have as a wrestler,
Yeah.
and he is just taking on everybody.
Yeah, I think he's just
Good on
doing
him.
what he did back in the Indies. 'Cause he used to do that back then.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you think Bryan should have stayed in WWE? He was more of a well-known character there, where in AEW he's not at all. He's very low down.
I think he just wanted to wrestle.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
No, I don't think he should have stayed there.
I'm happy he went to AEW.
Yeah.
Because I think he just wanted to wrestle and wrestle people freely.
I think he could. I think Daniel Bryan's kind of strange. Like if you watch interviews and things from him, he's not really about the money as much.
No, he never
and
has been.
I think he's about the passion of it all.
Yeah.
And I think that had died in WWE. So good luck to him.
He brings it up a lot on Total Divas.
Does he?
He does, yes.
Oh, fuck. You ain't still watching that, yeah?
He watches that with that Bella t-shirt on, mate.
I will do.
Yeah,
yes,
it's a
I'm
great
going
I
idea.
want a photo of this.
That's the photos coming, don't you worry.
I still love the comment your wife made about that t-shirt.
I'm going to wear that tonight. I was going to wear it tonight. I forgot about it.
I was genuinely really, really happy for you, Johnny, because I found something that was so bad that even you had to admit it was.
It was bad, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having fun here. It feels nice on my skin.
Yeah, it weren't cheap, mate. It was from, it's a special Redbubble make one. Yeah.
Lovely.
Had to
Lovely
be custom
nylon.
made. I don't think anyone would. It did. Yeah, because I don't think anyone would come up with that or want that. So it's actually, it was a design that someone had put on as a joke on
God.
fucking Redbubble, I think.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Do you know about Miro? Rusev?
Not really.
Is he still
He
going?
had 2 matches last year in AEW, and people have been coming to him with ideas, and he's refusing them all. He doesn't want
He's
them.
wanting out of his contract, isn't he?
Yeah, he wants to go to WWE then.
He's just not happy with any of this, and he's been having big storylines given to him.
Here's the deal. I don't think WWE will take him. I don't mind him, but I think
I like the whole character, the Redeemer character. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I just see him as run of the mill mid cards. I think he's okay.
No, I quite enjoy him. I think
Yeah.
he's all right. And House of Black, they had this time off, but they've come back.
He's back now, isn't he, Alistair?
And they're still,
Sorry, Malachi.
They're back and they're doing the same thing. It's like there's no difference. They came back the first 3 weeks. They were beating everybody up, coming out, just interfering, and now they're just the same.
Do you know what they need?
What?
Danhausen.
Danhausen, yes.
Did you see Danhausen?
What's he been doing? On Danhausen watch.
Become very popular with an acoustic guitar and a ukulele.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Jeff Jarrett is amazing in AEW. He fits.
Really?
He's actually really good.
He fits
Is he?
the mid-card feud with him and
With Danhausen.
Jay Lethal, and Danhausen and the Acclaimed. It's gone so well.
It's fucking brilliant.
Is it?
They've had 3 matches so far.
I've seen the highlights on YouTube. It's fucking awesome.
As long as Jarrett doesn't get out of like this mid-card role, he's perfect fit for it.
Well, Jeff Jarrett needs to be used in that sort of way.
Was
He
it
can't
the,
be used
so funny.
Was
seriously.
it the last pay-per-view they had where Jarrett and Jay Lethal were sat in the crowd? Because that was the only way they could get into the venue,
yeah.
and they had to buy a ticket. And all of a sudden, wearing a steward's t-shirt was Danhausen checking the tickets, and he just went,
And they've got that big giant with them as well.
Oh yeah.
I was squaring up soon.
He did what?
Danhausen squared up to a guy that was 7 foot.
That's the guy on Rampage. He's trying to punch him and run into him.
It's fucking brilliant.
But yeah, it's going really well. That's really good.
But he's,
I'd have to catch up on it all.
We've talked about him in the past, like literally every fucking episode, I think, since we.
That's why I called it Danhausen.
Yeah. Yeah, damn right, yeah. Oh, we need a fucking new segment, don't we?
Wouldn't be long.
Watchhausen.
Just be,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to see him being used.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is with a decent feud. I think he's fucking hilarious with the Acclaimed.
Yeah, it's gone quite well. One other thing as well.
I need to see him scissor, though.
I think he will do at some point.
I need to watch AW.
Scissor me, ass boy, daddy. Daddy ass.
There's only one other thing which is a bit disappointing. It's the Eddie Kingston Ortiz. They've split. They've turned on each other because it was Santana and Ortiz, wasn't it? But they've had a massive fallout in real life.
Personal fallout.
So Santana's gone, and they're now them two are feuding, and it's just a bit. It's not that great.
Actually, one props I will give because I had noticed this. Jericho putting people over.
Yeah, he wrestled
Action Andretti.
Yes, yeah.
Twice he's put him over.
Yeah, but the only thing with this Action, what is it? Action
Andretti.
He's a bit bland on the microphone. There's not really much there.
But I think
something in him.
I think that's why Jericho's working with him.
Yeah, it's possible.
He obviously sees something.
Yeah, there's something there. Ricky Starks as well. He's doing really well.
Yeah.
He's moving on up. Moving on up.
How's he done with his gimmick? Is it the same?
A lot less rock.
Good.
Yeah. He's got a new belt around his pants as well. He wears. He's got some. Yeah, doing all right.
I really like him.
Did a bit of rope walking recently as well, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he's doing all right.
Yeah. Just a quick tangent because I forgot about this. Does anybody notice? Because this is funny. Did anyone notice Rhea Ripley's costume break in the middle of the match?
Yes.
No.
It did.
Yeah.
It broke in the middle of the fucking match.
I thought something seemed a bit odd, actually, thinking about it.
She disappeared.
There's a strap.
Yeah, it's a strap.
Yeah.
It broke and it actually come sort of down a bit and fucking...
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, you didn't see it.
Oh, right,
But
okay.
it broke enough to flap down because she went into the corner and the cameras went away. So I think there was like almost a seamstress fucking down there or someone...
Fair play to getting that sorted that quick.
Yeah, well, she was up quick and that completely ripped because I fucking...
Fucking hell.
Did you see it go?
Yeah, because it was when she hit the ground, wasn't it? And I saw something black come flying up, and I wasn't sure if that was...
It was a strap, and it ripped right down. It ripped right off and flicked down. Yeah.
Oh Christ! Because at the start I wasn't sure if it was like hair or something, or pads or something had gone. But yeah, fair play to behind the scenes. They got that sorted real quick. Yeah, good on them.
Yeah, just thought I'd bring that up, so I forgot about that.
Yeah, all you've got now is just the pay-per-views coming up. Like I said, Ring of Honor, got Supercard of Honor coming up on March 31st, AEW Revolution March 5th, and Elimination Chamber coming up in...
February 18th.
February the 18th, yes.
Stewie's done his homework.
You have. Something did pop into my mind, though.
Okay.
With Sammy, Montreal, wherever he's in Canada.
Screw job.
No, actually. If he was to win the title...
Yeah.
The following month, they're in Saudi Arabia. Sammy doesn't go there.
Ooh.
And they want their champion being there.
I don't think so. Do you want a prediction now of what I think they're going to do?
Go on then.
Okay. I think, and I've told you this already, I think that they're going to do a WrestleMania 10 style main event. So I think Roman will defend both belts. I think he'll defend the WWE title against Cody, and I think he'll defend the Universal title against Sammy. I think, unfortunately for Sammy, I think that Roman will retain, because then he'll go over the 1,000-day limit, and I think Cody will win. Here's what I would do, if this is the case. I would have Sammy cost Roman. I'd have that match the first night, and I'd have some way that Roman gets past Sammy, if it's a cheat, whatever, right? And then I would bring in Sammy to fuck over Roman.
Yeah.
And cost Roman against Cody. That's a really even match. Then suddenly Sammy comes from somewhere and fucks him over, because that would be the ultimate revenge, to take that one of the titles off of him. Yeah, that's what I can see him doing.
There is the other thing I mentioned to you earlier, which is the big money offer being offered to Austin to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
No.
And the only other thing which could happen is Sami and Kevin Owens being beaten down at the end of Elimination Chamber. The glass shatters. Austin comes out.
No, that should have happened last night. If they were going to do it, they should have done it last night.
If anything, they could build it for SummerSlam, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
But it's gonna. Austin has said that he's got, after that one match, he's got at least 3 and 4 more left in him.
I think that they don't need anybody to come in and derail this. I think that the story's already there, and I think it's big enough, similar to Bryan and Kofi.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's big enough to get over on its own.
Mm.
I don't think they need any star to come in like a Rock.
Yeah.
Because to me, whoever takes this title off of Reigns eventually, and I'm not saying that it won't be, maybe Sami down the line is made.
Yeah.
You are made. It's not the WWE one as much if they split them. It's the Universal. Because the Universal's the one he's had for, what is it, nearly 300, 900 days.
Yeah, 880 something days.
Yeah.
The problem is, if they want to get him to 1,000, he's going to have to retain one.
With Austin maybe coming back and Rock coming back,
No.
can we get Rock Austin again?
No, it'd be awful. You can't recreate something.
No, it would be awful.
Stay retired.
I don't mind him having a match as long as it's planned the way the WrestleMania one was.
Yeah.
But he said that he wants to come back, but he's got 3 or 4 matches left, and we'll see what happens.
We've seen worse
There we
people come back.
Yeah.
But
What?
Right.
but we really don't want Austin versus Reigns.
No, I don't. Not one bit.
Austin
Nope.
Goldberg.
Right.
I'd like to see that if I'd like to see that if Austin's going over. I'd like to see that.
I'm out.
What, for Goldberg? Goldberg would be falling over and shit. Austin would be drinking a beer and he'd be falling over.
Goldberg will be back soon.
Oh, fuck off.
Tony Road, you love the motherfucker, don't you?
Yeah, that's what worries me.
He'll be back.
Prick. Well, on that note, shall we round it up?
Yeah.
However, we've just got one last thing to announce.
And is that me singing Slam Jam again?
No, it's fucking
Can we hear the
not.
lyrics again?
No, it's
What
not.
is it? Pump.
I'll sing
Pump
it
the
out. I'll
British-
sing us out if you want it.
Yes.
Yes. There we go. And we'll fade out.
Yeah.
Fuck you know.
We're doing it.
Right, in light
We
of...
got the USA one.
Oh, well, I'll get that one.
Yeah, we'll do that next time.
Right, in light of obviously recent events, I've decided to pick, for a top 3 segment, top 3 Briscoe brothers moments
Okay.
or matches, whatever you want to do. And our second topic is going to be a best of Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes.
Best of moment from
American Dream.
Dusty Rhodes.
That's not the worst Dusty
That
Rhodes
was
impression ever.
fucking horrendous.
I don't know what that was. I'm ready to Stimpy.
But on a final note, just like to say to everyone that joins in, please carry on doing what you're doing. Get involved, as always. If you want to reach out to us and get involved in our topics on social media, we're on Instagram at top.
Sorry.
What the fuck was that?
Johnny made me laugh. Not like to like a kid.
What the fuck?
I looked at Johnny and he was laughing and it just made me burst out
What the fuck were you laughing at?
I don't know.
I was just looking at the lyrics, get ready.
Oh, Christ. Let's try that again. So, if you want to get involved with any of our topics or suggest topics or do whatever you want without chuckling Larry in the background laughing, you can get hold of us on Instagram at top.turnbuckle.podcast. On Twitter, we're at T_Turnbuckle and Facebook, we're Top Turnbuckle Podcast. You know, can't go much easier than that. As always, thanks a lot to everyone.
And on Grindr we are.
And on Grindr, we're on Pelvic Thrusts or Us.
Pump, 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 pump.
Are we on Grindr?
I don't know. You want to be on
I'm
there?
not. No. Oh dear.
Right, so instead of me singing, should we all sing this together?
I'm not singing it.
I've got the lyrics.
I'm not singing it.
I give the honours
So-
to you, Johnny.
Right.
Thanks again, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Here's Johnny to sing you out. Bye-bye.
The World Wrestling Federation today. The Hitman. The best there is. The best there was. The best there ever will be. Yeah? Randy Savage? Wonderful. Wonderful. Believable, yeah. I'm the British Bulldog. You're going down. Undertaker says slam. Everybody to a man, slam. It's a slam jam. Yeah, well the Hitman bends, but the Hitman does not break. Slam jam, thank you ma'am. This is the Macho Man, yeah. The Undertaker says slam.
This is like a poetic reason.
We're the cream. We roll like a team. But every great team needs a theme. Here it is. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Now here I am, the man. So get with the slam and pick up the program. In the air, we're flying. Death-defying. Pumping iron. Roar like a lion. Pound for pound. Round for round. Mama said, take you out. Pump it, pump it, pump it, and get with the jam. And slam.
Thank you so much, John.
Johnny, even the dog's looking at you going, what the fuck is going on?